Catalyst is an equal opportunity employer. We are not responsible for auto random. We believe in creating opportunities for everyone. Yes. What you guys doing this Sunday?
20 more minutes until Millie's on. 20 more minutes until Millie's on.
How are we rating the quick party album?
It's butt ass!
Hold on, 10.
Nah, bro. What do you mean it's butt ass? Get the fuck out.
It's
I was like,
yo. hey, I'm sorry.
Hold on. Case openings? Wait.
Ton of money from
Is that
Hold on, it's my closing
they
thought.
actually, everyone's saying they ran out of 3 because they feel it's profitable.
Yo, what is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Catalyst Effect Podcast, episode 67. 3 episodes closer to the legendary episode 69.
Oh, yeah.
Man, it's going to be fucking fantastic. But what is up, guys? Hope everyone is having a fabulous Sunday. It's a beautiful day here in Florida. It's actually been really nice, bro. This month has been really nice here in Florida.
It's raining here in Texas.
Oh, ew.
You guys said us the raid today, I guess.
Yeah.
It's
Nah,
been
I
raining
raided
here,
in
like past
Texas.
a week, man.
I didn't know it was raining.
Isn't that good for you guys? Yeah.
I mean, it's actually like not common that it rains here in Austin. Usually the same day it's like cloudy and rainy, it's super sunny and hot like the same day. But for some reason this week it's been like super rainy and gloomy. Sersky would know.
I don't know, man.
Yes,
I feel like that entire side of the country needs some rain right now. You know, with all the fires going on and shit, it's been crazy. Although Miami, I think, has some fires too, like or the Keys did or something like some.
Yeah, there was actually a wildfire like right outside my hotel the other day.
What?
Okay,
That was pretty crazy.
Next to the beach?
it's crazy.
Yeah.
What? How's there
Yeah,
fire
it was
on
pretty,
water?
it was pretty
Like,
nuts. I mean,
like
dude,
the
that was
shit.
my fucking question. I was looking around and I saw all the smoke and shit, and I was like, "Oh fuck!" Like, am I gonna have to leave?
It's like
But
the fire
it didn't-
was on top of the water, bro.
Yeah, it didn't get too crazy. Yo, what's up, Jackie? What's up, Damien? Sersky, you want a Catalyst Cipher? I got you.
Catalyst Cipher. Oh yeah, I have no idea what the heck you guys were saying when we were starting the show.
I was saying 20 more minutes until I'm on. That's like the lyrics of the song.
Oh,
And then I was like, Catalyst is an equal opportunity employer. You know, we empower Hado and his random babbling. And then I tried shouting out. Then I tried shouting out the crowd, and Hado told me to speak up. So I was like, "What are you guys fucking doing this weekend?" or some shit like that.
Means he's got the loudest quiet voice I've ever heard in my life. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's
That
starting
is
soon screen is
weird,
really loud.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but also shout out to Balthier GR in party. Thank you so much for watching us over there. We appreciate you. Welcome to the show. But yeah, man, I hope you guys are having a good Sunday. Today we have our boy Siege in the studio with us, man. What is up, my brother?
Vibing, brother. 177 days till Borderlands 4.
Hell yeah, dude. Actually, we were actually playing some Borderlands yesterday. Dude, slapping cheeks over there, man. Like he's so excited.
Yo.
you know?
Straight up back shots
Hey,
on the
brother,
daily.
back shots,
Yo.
exactly.
Not getting them. That's weird.
I don't know about on the daily. That's a little wild, but hey. No, but yesterday we were playing some Borderland. We were playing the prequel. What's
The pre-sequel. The
pre-sequel, yeah, the pre-sequel of it. I mean, it was pretty cool. A little bit too much dialogue in the campaign for my taste. But overall, I liked the design of the game. It was a fun time.
This man,
Yeah, the atmosphere was dope.
I mean, dude, if we didn't have Siege with us, none of us knew what the fuck where we had to go, what we had to do.
Skill points. Put that up.
Yeah, like the skill points, you have like a whole skill tree and shit. Like I was like, what the heck is going on, dude?
Oh, yeah. It was dope though. We got to continue that playthrough soon.
Yeah. We made it to what, like
Level 7. Pretty.
So-
we got in 2 hours almost.
So, Clouds, would you say that game is ass or not?
I don't think it's ass, man. I mean, it is a campaign game,
cool.
which for me, like, I'm gonna answer that. Like, would I go and buy that game? And the answer for me personally will be no, because I'm not a campaign person. You get me? I'm not I mean, I enjoy co-op games, but I'm not a campaign person. I want to be in that PvP mode, you know.
I must say, yeah. There's
I know.
PvE,
There's
not
other.
PvP. Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Siege. I know there's other Borderlands that have PvP, right? Wasn't there?
No, it's PvE. PvE is the focus. So like end game content, takedowns. Your end game is really the biggest thing with Borderlands after the story.
I thought it was a Borderland that had like team deathmatch and shit like that.
No, I think you're talking about
Nah.
Battleborn, a game that Gearbox made a while ago that didn't do good.
Battleborn, maybe.
No, all you could do is like a little duel, but there was no PvP mode.
Which
No.
we were doing yesterday. So we were dueling.
Yeah, the dueling thing was funny. No, I mean, I think it's a great game for content. Like, you know, like if you have a group of friends to play with and stuff like that. But I wouldn't go out of my way to buy that game to play.
Yeah.
If it doesn't have PvP, you get me?
Yep.
But yeah, man, that's me
It was
though.
chilling.
I mean,
It was fun. It was fun with the homies. It made me want to play Gears again. Maybe we do that one of these weeks.
Oh my God.
that's a campaign. That's
I
a
never
campaign.
played Gears before, so I'm down.
Oh my god.
You've never played Gears?
Yo, I really want to know.
Hey, he's from a different generation.
No, he's
Makes
not,
sense.
bro. He's only like 3 years younger than us. Like this dude should have played all the games we played.
Hold
Has
on.
never played the fucking games we played.
You can't tell me he's just young or he's just a boy. But some people his age know about all the lore of that shit.
Brother,
They
he's
grew up
He's
with it.
bullied
He's
section.
not even 10 years younger than us, bro. There's no generation here. It's the same fucking.
I was on
Yeah.
PlayStation. That's probably why.
Like,
Don't say he's just a boy, Mizzy. Come on now.
I've tried.
I'm
I
just
tried,
a wee
man.
young
I
lad. It's okay. It's just a wee
boy.
young lad.
tried.
It's okay.
Mizzy
I
got
mean,
outside.
bro,
Appreciate
he
you,
didn't-
Mizzy.
over here,
Appreciate
like,
He didn't start playing Halo till Infinite, which to me says he didn't have access to consoles until later. That's all.
I was on PlayStation. That's why I wasn't on Xbox.
Okay,
I never
real
had an
quick,
Xbox.
real quick, because since we have another console gamer here, my friend that I hung out with the other day. That's real quick. She said,
I mean,
"You're
what
not
do you
a
mean
real
another
gamer."
console gamer?
Yeah.
We're
Anyways,
all console
uh,
gamers.
yeah, sure. Let me ask the question first. So, are you a real gamer if you just game on console? Yes or no?
Yeah, I would say so.
yes.
Fuck.
That's the main gaming platform.
I mean,
All right.
if you think about it, most people came from gaming consoles. People weren't
Thank
buying
you.
PCs back in the
Yeah.
day like that, you know.
Yeah.
Thank you. I just wanted.
First of all, you
to
didn't have
send
good
to her.
gaming PCs back in the day like that. Like you had like a big Windows XP box or some shit. you
Yep.
know?
Yeah, I was just clip farming. So like, whenever we're done here today, like, please, this is the clip that I need the most because I'm gonna send this shit to her. Thank you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
I
mean-
mean, what she made the argument that you're not a real gamer until you get a
she
PC.
said that real gamers are only on PC.
I mean,
Hell, what the
listen,
heck?
listen, Linda. No, I'm just kidding, but I started gaming on PCs on a compact, right? And then I
It's
played
not
console.
even a PC though. Compact.
I mean, bro, but that's where I started. Is what I'm saying. You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
kidding.
I was
Go
on
ahead.
Windows XP. I was on that shit. Like
Mhm.
I played PC games, but I always played consoles too. Like I would say this is the
Mm.
only phase of my life where I'm not actively playing consoles, and that's just because like I don't have a need for it. But it's not because I view it as a lesser form of gaming. You know?
But if you only play the Switch, are you a real gamer?
Yeah.
Because I would say yes.
You're
But she was
gaming.
like, she was
Yes.
very adamantly no, and I'm like, all right, well,
Yeah,
I
I
gotta.
would
It
say-
sounds like she was like maybe focusing too much on like esports or like maybe like
No, she
being a
did say.
content creator or some shit. Like I don't know. Like what do you
No,
mean?
she was like PC Master Race, and I'm like, I agree, but don't say the gamers on console are not gamers. Come on,
Like, I'll be
now.
honest. People, like, if you're playing, like, this is just how it is. If you're a mobile gamer, the word "gamer's" in there. You are playing games.
Yeah, but you
You are
make
a
sure
gamer.
you put the
Casual.
mobile.
Here's
in
the
front
different.
of that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. There you go.
yeah.
You're still. I agree. Yes. Label it like that. Casual
Yeah.
gamer.
I
Exactly.
mean, hey,
agree.
bro, wasn't there like a super high price pool for mobile gamers in Fortnite?
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah, well,
saying,
those
like,
weren't
I'm
those weren't
pretty sure-
casual gamers. They were grinding for that. They were
Well, that's what
grinding
I'm
for that
saying. Like, you can
Yeah.
reach even the level of a pro player, even if you play only on your phone. You get what I'm saying?
True.
Like, there's a lot
True.
of people that played Guilds of Guardians or whatever the heck that game was called, like, the tower
In-
defense game or whatever. That had a huge
Yeah.
esports scene, like back in the day. So
In my opinion, you got no room to talk about any kind of gamer unless you can be competitive in all forms of gaming, and that includes arcade.
Ooh.
Like, otherwise, just kind of stay in your lane and be quiet. In my opinion, like that's why I don't. That's why as much as I like to talk trash about like mobile gaming and stuff, I still respect those guys. Like I've seen their fingers go at that fucking touchscreen. I could never do that. Like their wives must be incredibly happy.
Dude, I'm like,
Whoa.
Yeah, you know it's coming. It's coming. It's on its way.
Yo, have you seen? Speaking of, have you seen the trends of the people using the massage gun and then they put it in their finger?
Yeah.
And they have like this whole relaxation moment where they're like, wait a second.
Yeah.
Oh, God, dude.
Yeah, I
Classic
remember
Mobile
seeing
gamers
that
were
shit.
ahead of their time.
Yeah, and then also like if you look at regions too, like East, they have more access to phones than computers or consoles, so like that's why they do consume mobile gaming. But I still think they're just as much gamers as the other people. I just think that if they had the choice, and I'll die on this hill, if they had the
That's a
choice
fact.
to play
That is a
on
fact.
console or PC, they would do it.
They would
But-
absolutely.
but-
yeah.
I've never
yeah.
met. I've never
I mean,
met
listen.
an Asian
Oh, go
mobile
ahead.
gamer that was like, "Oh yeah, I would take this over a PC." Like, no, they always say I'd take fucking a PC over this shit.
In my opinion, if you're looking for high performance like value, you need to get a PC.
Mhm.
You get what I'm saying? Like there's a cap limit with consoles. You get me? And you can have really good internet, but it still won't reach the level of performance with a really good quality PC.
There's a cap level. Yeah, we gotta stop the cap. I
Stop
agree.
the cap. Stop the cap. Listen, consoles stop being important when the 360 stop being a console. All right, so like, it is.
The
What it
next
is.
Hey,
Xbox,
I-
though.
It is what it is,
I
man.
enjoyed.
I mean,
my
Xbox One
PS4.
was whatever, man. Xbox
No, I'm
One
saying
was
the next
whatever.
one though. Gonna have Steam and everything on it.
Yeah.
They're gonna crush PlayStation. Yeah, I know.
Bruh.
What?
That's good. Yeah. they're gonna-
I gotta agree with Clouds on this one. 360 was kind of where consoles peaked.
That was the peak of console for sure.
Yeah. Yep.
For sure.
I thought
Um,
PS4 and Xbox One were pretty hype as fuck.
Yeah,
only
I think that
multi-jackie.
was the peak.
Yeah. Mobile gaming wives, they're very happy women. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, we're talking gaming IPs. The peak was PS2, but sure.
PS2 was the shit. I remember having my Japanese
Dude.
version of the PS2. That shit was the shit.
The library was so fucking deep, bro.
Yeah. I have fun in the PS2.
Yeah.
But
I
360
kinda-
started the whole multiplayer era. For
Yeah,
me,
I
man,
kind
so
of
that's
that
like-
was where I was gonna go. Like the problem with PS2 was not online. 360 introduced online.
Yeah.
PS2, and I kind of always viewed PS2 as more as like the counterparts of 360 than I ever viewed the PS3 as that. Like because
Oh yeah, PS3 was ass.
PS3
Well, I mean, yeah, the
cheap,
PS3 was
bro.
so annoying to like socialize
Yeah.
with your friends, bro. You wanted to send a message, you had to like leave the game to do that. Like it was annoying. It was really annoying. And that's what the 360 had that was like made it the king of console. It's like how seamless it was to connect with your friends online. You get me? Like getting a
Yeah.
private party chat, like going to the theater modes together, like all the shit that we hadn't seen in consoles yet, as a social like experience came with the 360, in my opinion. And then from there it got better or worse, like with the PS4 and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, it's like they forgot the core reason behind the console, and they tried making it fancier, which made it worse.
Yeah, whenever Xbox
many
was
ways.
like, you can watch your TV on your Xbox, we're like, we don't care.
We don't want that.
That's what the VCR
And
not
also,
VCR, wow,
what fucked it up more was the controllers. The controllers that came with like different consoles, for some reason they just never felt the same. Like 360 controller, the shape and the size was perfect. You get me? And I think I want to say it was the PS4 that had the best controller for Sony. But what's that? The Xbox One, the Elite.
This is the Xbox One. This is the best controller I've ever held in my hands.
I hate that controller, dude.
Why? It's not elite.
It's so like fucking like it feels so long. Like I don't know. I don't like how long it feels and like how the where you put your arms are like, bro, stop. This guy, man. I swear to you, like we can never have Humanity can never have a fucking conversation anymore because of the stupid ass trend of like saying pause. Dude. Like I fucking hate that shit so much.
Pause.
Anything you do is like a pause moment, bro. Pausa, like like pausa. We're gonna have to switch it to Spanish or something. I don't know.
Pausa. Pausa.
Pausa. sounds like a Mexican dish. To tell you the truth. Pausa. Yo, give me some pausas, man.
Oh man, this show's going off the rails. Where were we?
It's not, listen, bro.
Let me
This
get
is
some
valuable
papausas.
information. Yeah, papausas. Some papusas. All right. No, man. I mean, listen. What about? So I kind of talked to Siege about this. Well, I didn't talk to him about it, but I got his opinion on it a little bit. Fragpunk is another game that kind of joined the scene as a new game, a new experience. I personally really like it. I think it's a lot of fun. But Siege absolutely hates it. He said he has no desire of having any TCE.
Hates is a strong word. I just think
You say you hate it, bro. You say you literally said I effing hate it yesterday.
Oh, I'm
So
sorry.
don't
They
try
will
to
never
back your
amount
claim
to the
now.
likes of Valorant. My bad. Sorry. That's a lot better.
Okay.
I'm
I
more
got.
fan of
Okay.
Valorant, I'll tell you that
Listen.
much. But
Listen.
anyways.
This is NetEase's attempt to dethrone Riot because they have.
Go eat them.
Hey, Marvel Rivals is fun. Take a
that
bet.
part, yeah. Cool.
That part, yeah. And the only thing they're missing is a MOBA and MMO, and then they're going to challenge World of Warcraft. They're going to challenge League of Legends, and they're going to challenge. They're already challenged Overwatch, and I think they've won that fight. So this is their Valorant game, and I guess it's also their Call of Duty game in a way too, because it's like 5 rounds instead of 1,000 in Valorant. So it is a quicker game to play. I will give them that, but I just feel like it's lazy to do this randomized shit. Because like one round I have a sprint button, and next I don't. I just it's just too much randomness for me.
But I think
like
that's
the
the part that I've enjoyed the most about it because it's a casual game. It's not made for competitive. I hope people.
Mode,
It does have rank mode, but there's no way to beat in rank mode, bro. Unless they implement that, the game is absolutely broken in a competitive standpoint. Like like exactly what you said, right? One round I have a fucking sprint button, the next round I can play the same way. You get me? Like that's not gonna fly with esports players. That game is gonna turn into a GA nightmare essentially if it goes into a competitive realm. Like every player is just gonna be like, bro, you're a pussy for playing with this thing. We should just GA this shit and not use it because you know you're not a real player if you're using that. It's like the same scenario with snaking in Call of Duty.
Well, it's exactly the same reason why we turned off items in Smash. It was an unfair advantage if you got hit with a fucking bumper and then you lost the fucking match, right? So yeah. I think they got to install some rules for rank to be more ranked play. But yeah, it's a bit too random for me to like hop into that game. So I do take it as like a casual game. I don't take it very seriously, to be honest.
Yeah, I want them to keep it fun and casual. I think if they turn it into a competitive thing, like it's going to get nerfed too much. And then at that point, we're just playing Valorant. And what's the point of that?
Well, you don't like Valorant, so that's why I know you don't want.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, like Valorant will be a better product, no? If it was exactly the same way, like it will be a better product. So why would people want to play Fragpunk? Is what I'm trying to say. Like,
and you're making the same argument for Web3 games too.
You know how different it is.
You're making the same argument against the Web3 clone games too, though. Why would I play the Web3 clone game? I can play Valorant.
If people are still making clones in Web3, like they should know by now that that's not gonna make it. But anyways,
facts.
Afuera!
Afuera, pa la calle. Oye, Missy, have you played? You see, you brought my Cuban, bro. You brought my Cuban out. Now you know. Now we cannot move from this shit, bro. Nah. Listen, Missy, have you tried Fractal?
I have not yet.
I think you hate it because you hate CS:GO and games.
Yeah,
like
I fucking hate CS:GO, Valo. So I'm just like.
But they do have a TDM in Fragpunk.
That's what Damien said, which made me want to try it. Hey. But I know, like the game mode that everyone's gonna want to play is it's a traditional like CS:GO style game mode, and I hate those game modes.
Yeah, I'm a big S&D fan, so
yeah,
I enjoy S&D, but.
Yeah, I just like being a spaz. I'm a casual player, bro. I just like running around the map and killing people. Like, let me.
Oh live. Yeah, I found that out on Borderlands yesterday when we were playing. It was off the hinges, bro. My guy was like just doing the most random shit you could do and just going off on his own thing.
I gotta be honest, Mizzy has ruined my brain, bro.
How come?
Because now I can't unhear the pause moments when they're happening.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, man. Brain rot content.
It's an infection.
I love S&D as well.
This motherfucker.
This guy, man.
That's what I was dying of laughing.
All right, man. On that note, let's get into some of these topics, man. Let's get into some of these topics. Yo, Nyan Hero just announced like their season 4 playtest, and it actually opened to the public, I believe, earlier this week. On the 26th, I think is when it was that they opened.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So I mean, I think we've all tried it, with the exception of Siege. How do we feel about it, man? Are we happy? Is there some improvements with this build? Is there some things that went south and they need to improve on?
Well,
how's everyone feeling about the whole?
Yeah, it's a lot of changes, bro. Like the UI took me some time to get used to. I'll be honest, I had gotten used to the old UI. I thought certain things about the overall, just like the health bars, everything was easier to see with the older one. Like now it's like a little more difficult to see certain things on the map. It took me, like I said, it took me a little while to get used to it. Once I got used to it, it doesn't really bother me anymore. I would say that we're putting something in the middle of the screen here.
Yeah. I'm just bringing up there.
Okay. Things are happening.
Man, the ADHD is real.
But yeah, so I would say that then when you actually get into the gameplay, you know, you had mentioned this when we were talking clouds, like the ADSing is weird, a little weird. Yeah. I basically became like a hip fire guy now. Like I don't even try the ADS unless I'm using the sniper, but because the ADS is a little odd, I haven't been using the sniper as much as I normally would. Yeah, man, I would say they made a lot of interesting changes. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. Like I still think the best experience I had in Nyan Heroes was like season 2.
When we got an airdrop?
Yeah, like season 2. I mean, not because of the airdrop, but because of the quality of the game at the time. Like,
I mean, I remember getting the money. That was the best part for me, personally. Yeah, I mean, this build has been kind of rough for me. It's not playable at the moment for me. There's a lot of there's a lot of changes they made, like in the end. I don't know about the engine. I can't confirm that, but it just feels like they've made some in-game changes because the game doesn't like run the same for me. Also, they've added a new map. I like it. It looks cool. I'm happy to see content in a game. But yeah, the build right now for me personally, I can't really run the game without running into like FPS drops and stuff. So I'm a little disappointed, but you know, I like what the direction is going in terms of like them adding a new mode and shit. So the new mode, by the way, I think is very, very fun. It's just like yeah.
It needs a lot, in my opinion. Like that was actually my least favorite part of this season.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I felt like they could have made it more interesting. I don't want to be like, I don't know. I get what they're going with. Like you have to worry about optimization and things like that. But like, I never know where the fucking ball. Like it took me like 10,
it's really hard to tell where the ball is.
To know where the fucking ball was.
Yeah,
know who had the ball.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, I think like it's taking itself a little too serious. You're a bunch of cats chasing after a ball. Like create potential for meme moments. You know, like.
I mean, I think that's up to like content creators. So, but like, I do agree with you. Like, it's hard to just like locate it for sure.
Yeah, and when you can't find the ball, it's hard to create the memes. You get what I'm saying? Like if they had made it a huge ball that like floats around the map and shit, like now you have something to work with on a content level. But like, what am I supposed to do with like a little soccer? Like it looks like a little like volleyball or some shit.
I agree with your point though. I think it's a missed opportunity to take really big advantage of what their IP is, because it would have been really cool like if when you're holding the ball, like your character is making more like cat sounds, like purring and shit like that. How a cat would naturally act with a ball. Maybe randomly as you're sprinting, your character lays down on the floor because he wants to like fucking cuddle with the ball. Yeah, it's behaviors that cats can really control, and implementing that into a game, which I think a game like Marvel Rivals has done really well. You get me? Is really important to that experience for the player. You get me? Because it brings your IP to life. But aside from that, I also agree with the fact that really hard to tell where the ball is. It's like a little yellow triangle that gets on the player that lets you know. And I couldn't fucking find it. I had a really hard time with that as well.
Can I ask you guys a quick question on this topic? Do you think that like the obsession of like trying to make an esports title is ruining the gaming industry?
It's ruining games.
I think it's happening more in Web3 than Web2.
Yeah.
Like I feel like people in Web3 that are building products or in games in Web3 have this obsession with having to have some type of esports in their product, and I don't know why, but I always run into it, bro. Like
I mean, you guys might like hyper focus on like Web3, but I also see a lot of games trying to be super esports, and it's like you can't just like birth that. Like that's something that takes time to like craft and stuff, and that's usually community driven too. And I just see like what you guys are talking about with the problems. It just seems like they're just trying to make a super serious esports game, and it's like Mitzi's more like, yo, let's just cater to like the silliness of the game. Like all these cats are kind of like dorky looking cats with like mechanical like parts and stuff, and it could be like a little fun like arena beat 'em up type of game. Instead it's like a more of a competitive like successor to an Overwatch or like a Marvel Rivals type of game.
The way that I view Nyan, to be fair, is like, all right, you have cats, you have a very obvious IP that would appeal to a Tokyo like demographic, like a Japanese demographic, right? Like it could easily start implementing like even the new map looks like Tokyo kind of, right?
Yeah.
So it's like they have a very strong like tie to a Japanese demographic. So it's like, all right, why don't you just lean into like that almost in a weird way of like, I don't want to say like meme it, but in the sense that I know that what kind of gamer is going to play this? Like, for example, I know that dudes that like metal music and like to kind of have like rock star style hair, like greasy Asmongold type looking motherfuckers are gonna play WoW, right? Like, I'm like one of the rare exceptions of that shit. But like, when you stand in a WoW line, like a lot of them look like that. Like they have
they stand out.
T-shirts. Yeah. Well, who's gonna play Nyan? To me, the ideal like person that's gonna play Nyan is like the anime lover, the girl that wears the like Kelly. Guy or girl, the girl that wears like the cat ear fucking headphones, like that's your target demographic, right? So create a game that they're gonna really want to enjoy, which is like fun, memeable moments, like random UGC shit that they can do in the map in an experience like that to kind of have fun with. It's not like, to me, going the competitive esports route with a title like this is missing everything that could potentially make this game iconic, in my opinion.
Yeah, and to be fair, it's a very early state. We could get that like little yarn mode where it's like we're running around trying to like do the yarn thing or whatever. Rivals has a mode. I don't know if it's still out, but like they had a mode where it was like supposed to be like Rocket League, but it's like Rivals. So like even the serious games have their like fun modes as well, you know. So like even if you do want to make a super competitive game, those super competitive games still have like big head mode or something sometimes. So that's it's like an opportunity, like you're saying, they could definitely like hop into that kind of like demographic for sure.
Yeah, because I mean, a mode like this is basically like soccer for cats. So imagine like running off of the wall, and it's because it's almost like this more inflated ball. You can like jump off the wall and like paw it, and it like goes across the map when you do that shit towards the goal. I don't know. I just feel like they missed a lot of just opportunities with like the actual movement mechanics of the game with a mode like that.
Yeah, and I think a lot of games are suffering from like, hey, we're going to make this game and this is the way the game is. And it's like, what about this decentralized UGC part of Web3 that we used to talk about every day? Like, that's another thing that like we could easily throw in the mix. Like, hey, here's a world builder, build your own worlds with the cats, whatever. I'm saying maybe that's a little too much for them, but like, that's kind of like what I think Web3 games like used to be, like the vision, like, oh, like we're going to give you a world you can build in. So
what's up, Kobe? Fucking go, man.
I mean, I don't know what their plans are. I just, in my head, when I heard about the mode, I kind of saw the opportunity for this very like Rocket League style game where it's like, okay, Rocket League, the ball flies across the fucking map all the time. You're like always chasing after it, shit like that. So I kind of saw something similar where it could have been like, hey, as a cat, I can like swipe it at it. It goes across the map. then like my teammates like running after it to catch it. But at the same time, we're like shooting each other, fucking blowing each other while we're doing it. You know.
Or maybe you do it like a Marble Rivals type of way where you restrict certain
Yeah.
things about the game, right? Like in that game when we played, you couldn't shoot each other. You can only use 2 abilities, and that was it. You get me? So like in this game of Nyan, to your point, I feel like if you would have made like a game of like Rocket League, like you're saying, right? I made all the characters run on their legs rather than like standing like normal humans. You get me? And only being able to use certain passive abilities and abilities that the character has itself, like the blink for ghosts, or like. And to that point, maybe you only make it with selective characters, right? About you don't have to bring everything into one game mode. It should just be more about the experience, really, that you're providing.
And one more thing I want to throw in here, and I want to hear like Siege's take, because like he's a sweaty based gamer tick, like that's what I could refer to him as on the show. But I do think that we're also forgetting that Overwatch did have servers that had like all these different custom game modes. So like this is nothing new that like a super competitive, sweaty multiplayer game has like a side of the game that's more casual. That definitely exists already. So I think they should explore that route for sure. But I do want to hear Siege's take on like what do you think about all this? Like hearing all us talk about it and like the response to like what's going on. Like what do you think about it?
I mean, I think it's good. Like you said, any serious game to have its own casual modes. Because let's be honest, like Valorant, for example, you have a lot of people that casually play that game. It's a sweaty game. But people play like Swift Plays, which, you know, Swift Plays, it's half the length of a regular game.
Right.
You have TDM in that game. You have Deathmatch. You have each game should have their own casual pool or competitive pool. Either way, it depends what the game is. If it's focused on competitive, have casual. If it's casual, have a ranked mode or something. I think it's important, especially if you want to attract a wider audience. I think that's just better for the longevity of any game that you build.
Yeah, and I know that this team decided early on, like, we're not going to, like, alienate the player base. We're going to make everybody forced into sweat mode. And that might have turned off some people. I'm going to be honest. Like, some people don't want to, like, have to grind for hours. They just want to game and chill and have fun.
I mean,
like,
Shatterline tried doing that, bro, and they got a horrible response. You know, you cannot force people, especially when you're doing, like, an airdrop campaign or something like that, force people into playing like rank mode. Like that's not an enjoyable experience. You got to understand that. Like people that enjoy rank is because they're extremely competitive, not because they enjoy losing every fucking single game, getting like shitted on. You get me? Like that's not.
And they have the
no gamer likes that experience of like just getting absolutely shitted on with like not being able to do absolutely anything. You get me? So casual players look for that escape through like casual pools, like Siege was saying. You get me? And like those type of game modes are not so demanding of the skill and more so like ways to be creative, or like you can win by like hiding a certain amount. You get me? Like stuff like that. So yeah, man, I don't think like forcing that into players is never a good idea. I would have liked to see in this season for Nyan here like a separation of the both, right? Like having a rank play versus like a casual like play pool basically. But maybe they don't have the amount of testers they need to do something like that, or maybe it's just not a focus for them right now at the stage that they're on. I do want them to implement controller compatibility. That would be amazing, because I do think the type of mechanics that game has, more players will feel comfortable playing out of a controller than having to do everything that you need to do in that game with mouse and keyboard. That's really hard for a lot of players that are more casual, like to you guys' point.
Yeah, like it's really a matter of accessibility too. Like you want to have more ways to access the game, more people be able to like pick it up and play it, regardless of like skill level or not. Like it's access when it comes to like that kind of stuff. Like maybe some people's hands hurt, so like keyboard and mouse is not the way to go, right? So it's an accessibility thing on top of like, hey, like you're also putting your game out to more gamers that can reach it in more ways, because like not everybody loves using mouse and keyboard like I do. So, you know, I understand that.
In my opinion, it should have been there from the start. I don't know why it's not even there. This is what, the fourth playtest?
Yeah.
Fourth, it should have been there a while ago. In my opinion, not to be rude, it's no excuse. I'm sorry, you saw like Dead Drop. They implemented it pretty quickly for what they were doing, and their tests were farther apart. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, especially if you're trying to get more people, input is a huge part. It starts with input. So, and if there's just controller players out there, for example, if I only played controller, I never touched keyboard or mouse, and I really want to play this game, I'm going to try to probably, mess with on keyboard, but most likely I'll stop because You don't have that experience. You just want to enjoy the game. You don't want to learn a new input just to enjoy a game that looks cool to you.
You know, Siege, I'm really glad you brought up the word input. What would you say is like on a priority list from a scale of 1 to 10 when it comes to ping? How important is that?
Since they're playtest right now, like currently, I would 1 to 10, 1 being not important, 10 being important. Probably put like a 4. Again, these are playtests. If it was ongoing, it would be higher up. But ping, I don't think is as important. Especially input's more important.
What if it was like ongoing in the playtest? What would you say then?
It would be higher. It'd be like a 7.
Okay.
If you're having an ongoing and you're wanting, more people are able to pour into it, that's just as important as input at that point, in my opinion.
Gotcha.
Also, shout outs to Geek Steep. Thank you so much for watching us on YouTube, and I'm glad you're enjoying the show. We have a lot more topics to go through and more fun conversations, so definitely stick around. But yeah, no, I agree with you guys' take, man. I definitely agree. Definitely agree with Sisha's take on ping as well. I feel like honestly, like I feel like I would label ping in the same category as optimizing, right? Like certain games find it like more like taking their time and putting more effort into that side of the things during playtest than others. You get me? And that I think that just goes off like the budget that the studio has to like pay attention to those things, in my opinion. But like having enough servers and stuff like that.
I think it's imperative if you want an online game to be successful that you have servers in the region that the game is online. I think it's imperative.
Yeah, I agree. Like if it's publicly out, then yes. Yeah, I mean, if it's
what are the servers at the moment? If I'm asked, do you know, like how many servers they have, where they're at?
Not sure. I queued into a couple of games. My ping was above 100 a couple times.
And you're in Texas. Usually, Texas, you get great ping.
Well, we did switch to North America only, and we couldn't find a match. So
either
they're out of Europe or Asia. One of the two.
The way that Nyan works is essentially like you can turn it on so that you can join any of the servers technically. So it'll just get you the next available game. So being Web3, the smallest audience is always North America. So sometimes it's just easier to fucking play in Europe.
Yeah, but my ping to North America isn't even consistent. Like I'll have like it'll be like 49, then it'll be like 50 something, then it'll be like 30. So like I don't even know like what my real ping is in North America for this game because it's never the same. It's always like fluctuating. But on Valorant, it's always like 8 or 9, right? On other games, it's like under 10 or around 10. So that's the only evidence I could see is like, okay, well, I just don't have good ping with Nyan for some reason.
See, with that said, though, I think especially these playtests, when you're comparing ping, obviously you know this. I'm just making a point. Valorant's obviously an established game. It's it's been done. Of course, they're going to have the proper servers, and it's popular. Obviously, if you have a popular game, it's going to need more servers. Obviously,
Sure.
With Nyan, my guess, I hope I'm right. Obviously, for everybody's sake that enjoys the game and wants to play it, is that these tests are them testing servers and things like that. So maybe that's why you're not even getting a consistent ping. They're testing, hey, which is the most optimal experience going forward for, Central America, South America, things like that. So that's my hope is what they're doing with these tests. And I it's unfortunate that they're short and quick, but I hope that they're really pinpointing these, I don't want to call them issues, but things to make sure when they do open it up longer periods, that these aren't a concern going forward.
I definitely have the same sentiment that you just shared, for sure.
Do you guys think that lots of games, right, like now there, especially like newer games are being developed, right, like from like talking about like a studio that's developing a brand new product, right, like not like a franchise where they have like a database to go off of and stuff like that, right, but like newer games like that, do you guys think they also get affected a lot by the engine that they choose to build upon on top of? Because I was having a conversation with Rez, our boy Rez, the other day, right, where back in the day, like if you go back to like 2004 to 2010 2012, almost every single game was building their own engine to build upon, right, until UE5 came out, and then everybody started building on UE5. You get what I'm saying? Like, so like I wonder how, because for example, when I see a game like Off the Grid, right, they're built on UE5. But up until like the most recent update, their optimization was super terrible. You get me? And I haven't really seen a product that's built in UE5 with that bad of an optimization until I saw Off the Grid. So it made me wonder, I'm like, man, is UE5 maybe not enough of an engine for a game like Off the Grid? You get me? Maybe they should have gone with a more custom built engine like Battlefield did back in the day, for example, you know?
Well, like I'm sure all these engines have like a baseline of like how much tax you have or budget. I forget what the proper term is for like putting too much shit on screen before the computer basically explodes, right? I don't know exactly how that works, but something is very true is that like just because you have like access to it doesn't mean you can optimize it the same way, right? Like you have to like re-budget everything every time you update the game, right? So it might be the engine. You might be right. Like it might be that it's maybe not so much of like a skill gap or a learning curve. Maybe it's just like not enough manpower to like
a lot of it
optimize
also comes down to like the what is it built on? Like are all the assets custom? Are they using a wireframe? Things like that. Because for example, like I know the reason that everyone fuds when they see something built on a Lyra clone, like outside of like, oh, it's not original, blah blah blah. It's actually because of the fact that they're harder to update as development goes along because they're more prone to bugs. And it makes it more difficult. The more the developer customizes the game, the more difficult it becomes to prevent bugs from continuously happening. So while it saves you time in the beginning and it allows you to bring an MVP quicker to market, it actually makes it more difficult the more original you want to make your game. So
you're cutting out a
Yeah,
little bit.
your mic is going off a little bit, by the way.
it actually makes it more difficult when you're building out your game. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. A pre-built wireframe will help you. A pre-built wireframe will help you be able to like bring your stuff to market quicker, but then it'll also make it difficult to optimize and difficult to be able to like customize more and add more things to it without bugs consistently happening. So I think it's like a mixture of the engine plus how much of it did you customize versus building on top of an already existing like frame.
Yeah.
That's a really good
That
point.
makes
I didn't
sense.
think
Yeah.
about that. The asset
Yeah.
you're using could be plaguing the game because they're running out of budget fast. That's crazy.
I will say real
Yeah.
quick before we continue. One last thought. I think it's experience with the engine. For example, Borderlands 3 came out on, I believe, UE4, and it wasn't the best optimized game. And then you flash forward to Wonderlands, which I think was 2-3 years later, and the game was great optimized wise. It was on the same engine, felt really good. So I think it just comes down to experience with the engine. Even if UE5 is still fairly new, we've seen who mastered it. Obviously Epic Games with Fortnite, they've mastered it. They've done really well. I mean, it's their shit, obviously. So I think it just comes with more time and more experience with people messing with UE5. As we all know, I think UE5 is the best place to build because more people in the industry know it. That's why I'm excited for Halo to be on UE5, not their own engine. So that way you don't have to have people come in, especially if they're contractors, work on the engine for a bit and then leave, and then you got to teach new people. UE5 is pretty much,
Right, it's more universal.
Exactly. So
Yeah, it's more
I think it just
universal.
comes with experience, and hopefully people off the grid will learn it better and just continue to improve. I think that's what they're doing, if I had to guess. So
That's
yeah, I mean,
such an interesting
yeah,
point.
because UE5 is a really strong engine. Like, I mean, when you look at a product like Fortnite, right? Like, they're doing completely fine when it comes to the world of optimization and the experiences that they build. You get me? But yeah, it just made me wonder because actually, shout out to Rest for bringing that focus into that, man. Because I never thought of that, right? Like, and it was so common for like products in the past to build their own engine all the time and just build upon that engine that I never really thought of like what are the restrictions or limitations of UE5, but it could be just a learning curve, like you're saying, Siege, right? That is so new that they just haven't gotten their hands wet enough, right?
But when you think about the games that we used to play, once people started almost like third party sourcing their engines, that's when optimization really started to kind of become a problem. Like more consistently than we were used to, right? Like I never had to think of things like optimization really growing up. Like I didn't know what the fuck that meant. And then all of a sudden I would say around like around senior year, like 2012, 2013, all of a sudden like that type of shit really started to matter. Where growing up I could play any kind of game on like any fucking PC for the most part. I never really had issues. So and same thing with like some of the consoles, like all of a sudden everything when it came to optimization really mattered, and it kind of threw me off of gaming for a little bit because I was like Nah, I was not like a computer wizard, so I was like, why the fuck isn't this game working on my shit? Like, I didn't fucking know. And then I had to like ask people around, and they'd be like, "Oh, you're not optimized." And I'm like, "What the fuck does that mean?" you know. So,
It's like a whole new
um,
world, man.
yeah. So,
See, I'm a nerd
I
for
think
that
that.
shit.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like where not building your own engine does come at a disadvantage, but you do get to ship things quicker, so it's not a horrible thing, you know. But
Yeah,
yo,
I feel like that's what
shout
the
out
world is
George
going.
GM, bro.
Yo, shout out George. And also, Kobe was saying HD Olivares was doing some classes for Catalyst way back for UE5. I do remember
Yeah, man, those were
those
great
workshops.
times.
Yeah. Yeah, he was doing a great
Yeah,
job at that. He was showing people how to build maps, how to use assets, all that type of stuff.
That was
Really
like
cool.
Magic
yeah,
Craft gang days.
Yeah,
yeah.
for real.
That was back when we started. He used to do the UE5 classes for how to build
Like
Fortnite maps
workshops.
and
Yep.
shit.
Yeah.
Yep. But I mean, yeah, man, like I feel like that's what the world is heading either way, like the faster delivery type of shit. Like,
Yep.
you know, like with AI and now UE5 too, like you get me, like people are looking for
Yeah.
things to make it easier, but also to save costs, right? Like if I don't have to hire a team of like 50 people or like different contractors, like Siege was saying, because they're the ones that know how to work on that engine particularly, right? And I can do it with a team of 5 people because of how easy it is to navigate the UE5 library and build upon it. Like most studios are gonna go with that route, right? Because it's a funding issue. It's not a like I don't know. It's not like a tool issue.
Yeah, and Siege made a great point about like instead of like making all these different gaming engines, just make one game engine, and then it's a lot easier to source talent because they all know how to use that one engine. Well, now there's like a file type for like AI when it comes to AI generation within UE5 or whatever. They created like a new file type, so that's going to be another thing that people can just easily use because it's like a file type, right? So like I kind of see that like everything is becoming more optimal and like less reliance to like have these big teams kind of craft these games like you're saying, like it's getting a lot easier for people to just do it themselves.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of indie products that are like a 2-man team, you get me, or like 3-man
Yeah.
team, and it's like they're doing great work. But again, it's
Bro.
it's the AAA level games that I'm worried. Like, I mean, when people are building AAA experiences, and then you claim to be AAA, and then you jump into it, and it's not optimized to the level of a AAA should be, you get me? That's where things get like the experience just doesn't have the same effect in my opinion.
Yeah, and I mean, there's going to be outliers too, but like a game like Cuphead that had 2 people build it, and that game has so much fucking like style
Cuphead's
and
awesome,
fucking love to it. Like the people that made that game loved making that game. You could tell they loved it by the entire sound design, everything, like from the ground up. It's crazy.
Yeah, and that's a huge IP too, Cuphead.
Mhm.
So you know,
Yeah,
don't doubt it.
Cuphead. I was playing that shit with my nephew a few weeks back, and so good, so fun.
Mhm.
Well, listen, speaking of the grid up, doing a little bit better at optimizing with their latest update, they also announced their day for their TCE campaign for the guns token. I believe it is on.
Yes! Sorry.
I don't know why you're cheering at all.
I think it's either March 28th or March 31st.
Because we finally have some
31st.
information. We've been waiting for information.
Brother, have you seen those tokenomics?
Hey, at least we got something, man.
That shit is like that is.
Well,
wait.
Before you get into it, let me read this little. This ain't even giving it a chance, bro. He's not even giving it a chance. He's
Nah,
just like,
hell
no. Have you seen the economy model, bro? That's just sick. All right, man. Here it says trading for guns token is scheduled to commence on March 31st, 2025. Initial trading pairs will include gun and USDT, gun and BNB, gun and FDUSD, and gun/STRY.
This say BNB?
Yeah, BNB.
We can't use that in America. What the fuck?
Well, they're going on Binance, so
it's banned in America.
Well, there you have it. Providing users with diverse trading options to access and utilize guns tokens.
I thought they were
This
AVAX.
introduction aligns with Binance strategy to enhance accessibility and liquidity for emerging blockchain assets, catering to a global audience of cryptocurrency investors and traders. So maybe you need a VPN, brother.
Nah, man. I mean, they're launching on a Binance launch pool. I mean, they're still AVAX. They're just also having a Binance launch pool. It doesn't mean they're going to be on BNB. It's just like that's one of their launch partners, you know.
Okay. Okay.
But nah, dude, like these tokenomics are literally fucking ass. Like I don't know. I'm hoping you guys know how I always say I hope that people know something that I don't, and then they never do, and the thing goes to zero.
Yep.
Yeah, this is probably another one of those. Like
So
they might
what's
be
the
able
worst?
to,
What's the worst part of the tokenomic in your opinion? For listeners that don't
Yeah.
know anything about economy or tokenomics and how
sure.
they work, right? But what's the worst part of it?
So, I mean, the whole thing. All right, I'll stop. Let me
He's
actually
like, where do I
get
begin?
into it. All right. So I mean, you have like traditionally when you create a tokenomic structure, right? You and in the case of guns. Wait, did Cloud's screen go?
Yeah,
No,
his
I'm still
camera
here.
went
My
up.
bad. My camera just went
Okay.
off for a second.
In the case of like guns, I know it's technically their studio token as well as their game token, but I'm looking at this from just like the gamer perspective, right? So you have only 7% of their token is going to launch tomorrow, right? That means 93%. So imagine that 100 tokens could potentially be available. Out of those 100 tokens, only 7 are going to be launched tomorrow, which usually means
Feeding
that
frenzy, baby.
yeah, it's going to be a feeding frenzy. There's going to be price swings going crazy. Like, you know, basically people are going to be dumping into whoever's buying. Then when you look at the actual, like, let me pull them up. Let me pull them up, baby.
Pull that shit up.
Pull up the numbers, bro.
Um,
Pull up the numbers.
Time to get mad. Go ahead,
Everyone's
Cole.
like, this thing is gonna push Web3 game. I'm like, in what universe, my brother? Like, where? So the founders and team get 12%. There's gonna be 0% unlocked tomorrow. Cool. You're going to have, that's gonna be unlocked over 30 months. But let's look at like, out of all these names, out of all the things we're seeing here, what's actually for the gamers? Well, Private A isn't for the gamers. That's 12% of the supply. Private B isn't for the gamers because that's a funding round. That's 20% of the supply. So already between Private A, Private B, and the strategic funding rounds, so for all the gamers in the chat, like this is investors, basically. So we're looking at 38%, 37.5% of that supply is going of the total economy supply is going to investors, right? Then you have the KOL round. So that's 37.8%. So already, before we're even getting to the team, almost 4 out of every 10 tokens is going to an investor. That's actually fucking horrible for gamer fucking token companies. Then you
Yeah, that's
have
crazy.
3% going to the liquidity pool. So that's essentially when you create a liquidity pool in crypto, what that means is essentially you pair the token so that you can buy it with like $1. You can pair it with like AVAX token or USDC or whatever it is so that people can actually actively buy and sell the token because you need
Right.
actual liquidity attached to it to be able to do that.
Mhm.
Right? Then we have community incentives, which is basically like a fancy way of probably saying marketing, you know. So that's 4%. So already almost at 50%, and I haven't even gotten into the gamers.
Do you think that they made it so confusing so that people wouldn't look into it and just play the game and forget?
So wait. What out of all this list, because you're already more than halfway down to the list, what is the part that's labeled for gamers?
Platform rewards for 10%,
That's
and
fucking
technically NFT validator staking, right?
So you're
it's
telling
like,
me that 35% of this token is going to be held by VCs?
I mean, more than that, bro. Like we're talking 12, 32.
Oh, that shit going down.
37.8. So we're
It's
talking
like
about
almost like
37.8% is going to VCs. Then add in the founders and the team for another basically 13%. 51% of the token is held by VCs and members of the team. And then add in another 9% to the Guns Foundation. So that basically puts it at 60% being held by, and then 13% for the treasury. So 73% of this token is either in the treasury, in the foundation for the team, founders, or VCs. Like, The only thing that is actually, and then advisors. Like, how is advisor? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like another 5%. Like, you have half of the gamer fucking supply going to advisors. Like,
And
what?
and you could have someone live right now playing the game, and then they get all this token, and then the investor's like, "Oh, I see you got all this token. I'm gonna dump now.
Yeah. So
Thanks for playing my game."
the reason that I'm insanely,
Yeah, and they're charging pro members even more.
bro, I'm fucking insanely
just to let you know.
bearish. I'm fucking insanely bearish on this token. Like, Eddie, I've actually been taking notes about who's been saying they're bullish on Guns token to realize who the fucking idiots around here are. Like, it's actually embarrassing how bad this tokenomic structure fucking is. As someone that people were like, hey man, like Guns is gonna be a big deal. I've literally been saying, like, bro, stay the fuck away from that shit. Like, this is horrible. Because what's gonna happen is, let's say they end up saying, well, 9%. Let's say they end up saying Guns Foundation is actually for the gamers. I doubt they will, but let's say, for the sake of saying so, let's pray that they say okay. So that's 19% for the gamers. Then let's say maybe they allocate half of the treasury back to the gamers, maybe even 25%. Imagine playing for a token that out of every 4 tokens, 25%. So every 4 tokens goes to you as a gamer, and you and like 500,000 other gamers that are playing this game. And then as you guys are getting them, you have 75% of the people that hold the tokens dumping on you. So you try to buy it. You try to buy it to use it for skins. Price is going down. You try to buy it to use it to do something inside of the game. Price is going down. Every time you buy or interact with this token in a way that increases the price, 3/4 of the fucking supply holders are going to be dumping on your head because you're providing them exit liquidity. This is literally one of the worst fucking gaming tokenomic structures I've seen in my life. And anyone that has like tweeted about this tokenomic structure, I don't care if we're friends, like, you're a fucking idiot. Like, dead ass. Like, if you're like pushing this shit and you're saying like, oh, this is gonna push Web3 gaming, oh, this is gonna be bullish for us. Like, I literally think you're fucking brain dead. Like, dead ass.
Tell me how you really feel.
Like, this is fucking actually horrible for fucking gaming. Like,
No, I agree with you. I think that.
Yeah, but you know what they're not doing? Breaking it down like you are right now.
yeah.
Well, they don't
people
think
are,
like it.
behind
Terrible,
this.
bro.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, when you break it down like this, it's really like beneficial, you know?
No.
Listen, this is where I'm gonna be like the elephant in the room that nobody wants to hear, right? But this is why we need regulation. Otherwise, it's just gonna keep happening. We need fucking regulation.
Yeah,
This
bring
token
Gary back.
structure is bullshit.
Mhm.
No, don't bring Gary back. No.
So when we look at day 0 unlock, right?
We kicked his ass out. He's staying out. Sorry, go ahead, Missy.
This fucking guy. Bring Gary back. I'm not even gonna lie though, it doesn't even sound that bad right now. All right. So when we look at day 0 unlock, which means like the tokenomics are going to be available tomorrow. 100% of the community incentives are going to be available, which is basically glorified marketing. 100% of the liquidity pool is going to be available. So 7% of the token is going to be available tomorrow. And then you have 15% of the 30 million for the KOL round. Because, God forbid the KOLs don't get fucking paid. So that's like another 0.035%. So 7% of the token is going to be available tomorrow. And then let's look at the cliff structures. So platform rewards, after a month, they're going to turn on the play to earn engine. And that has a 12-month vesting period, which means they're going to hold off on the token being released to people for a month. All right. So look at how fucking conniving this tokenomic structure is. They're going to release with 7% of the supply tomorrow. They're going to let it sit for a month where they don't release any tokens whatsoever. And then this 10% here is going to be released over 12 months, right? So if you do the math, that's probably like 0.8 something % every month that's going out to the gamers for the play to earn. So what they're going to do is, and then look at the cliffs here, 12 months. So a cliff basically means that no tokens are going to be coming out for a minimum of 12 months. So the private A funding round, they have to wait a year for this to come out. The private B funding round, they have to wait a year for this to come out. Strategic, treasury, NFT validators, staking advisors, they all have to wait a year for it to come out. So what they're going to do is line up all the fucking gamers to pump this token and make a bullish narrative on play to earn on it for almost a year before they unload all the VCs to dump on everyone. So they're gonna get all the gamers bullish, and I'm gonna be, we're gonna be talking about it on the show as it happens. Fucking all these fucking dorks in this industry are gonna be jacking everyone off, like, oh my god, this token's so beautiful, and then boom, right at month 12, unload the dog shit. Everybody's gonna get fucking dumped on. It's gonna be a fucking bloodbath. It's gonna make a horrible fucking name for our space, because you have these 10% that over 12 months has been pumping and making a great name for the game. And then after that, after these 12-month cliffs start unlocking, these 6 months cliffs, all of a sudden, after a year of basically getting the gamers to juice up our token and provide us exit liquidity, we're just going to dump on you every second of every day, of every week, of every month for the next 18 to 36 months. So,
man,
they're going to get fucked.
Yo, you know how people were really negative on the timeline before about Web3 gaming and its state?
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's gonna
Just
be fucking worse.
Missy just really made the day even darker.
He just proved all the points that people make on why people never want to touch this fucking industry as a gamer. Because not only do I have think about it, if I want to get the if I want to go through and actually play the game and stuff, I have to read this fucking instruction manual, and this instruction manual is financial. So I probably wouldn't understand it unless I get the Mizzy breakdown. By the way, that would be a great fucking segment, the Mizzy breakdown. But anyway,
well, that just goes to prove that people were getting wrecked in this space since the very beginning of time because they refused to do exactly what you just said, which is read and understand what the heck you're getting into or what you're supporting. You get what I'm saying? But I get it, man. I mean, again, I don't think anybody has broken down an economy model in a matter of minutes like that, like Missy just did. And like I said, he just brought darkness to a lot of people's.
It's depressing, bro, because I want to be. You guys know how I feel about this industry. I'm an eternal optimist for this industry. I love what we do here. But my brother in Christ, there's no way I can ever say something positive about that tokenomic structure. It's actually
facts.
Scary. How many people are gonna get fucking destroyed, and all these idiots that This is why I don't care about what do people in the industry think about me? Do I have friends? Do I not? I don't give a fuck because they're all idiots. How could you possibly in any universe look at that tokenomics and tell me you're bullish in any way? Unless you're signing yourself up for exit liquidity.
Unless you're part of the what was this round? The investment A round. Yeah. That's
you had to get in early to feel good.
Yeah.
Basically.
Also, I just feel like half of the people that are hyping up about this is more about the fact they're just oh, look at that. We told you that off the grid was the best experience in Web3, and now we have the final puzzle piece that was missing. You get me? Which is the Web3 aspect of the game. You get me? And it's but the Web3 aspect of the game looks like it's gonna be ass. You get me? So I don't know. Go ahead. Oh, you froze.
Yeah, he wallied and froze.
Oh man, that's how he feels about the tokenomics.
He rugged himself.
There is connection. Am I back?
Yeah, you're back now.
Before they can rug him.
Damn, they're
he didn't have to wait the 12 months, bro. He was just nah, I'm out now, bro.
I was gonna say
now, bro.
I want to hear Siege's take on this because as a traditional gamer, right? What would you even make heads or tails of this shit? How would you even decipher what just happened?
I'm not invested in this shit. That's what I heard. What Missy heard, that's what translates to my brain. Don't fucking do it.
I mean,
so Missy just influenced you? That's crazy.
If you were to play this token in any kind of way, understand that it's you got a year of basically pumponomics so that they can build the narrative for the VCs to dump on everyone, right? So it's don't hold that bitch for more than 6 months, basically.
Right.
I need crypto advice. I'll take it from all of you.
You basically let the community pump it for a year and you saw at the 6 months mark, right?
That's
right.
You take that profit, baby.
That's what.
Nice. You got to front run them because they got millions more than you do, bro.
Profit over losses, baby. Profit over losses. But hey, after that whole breakdown that we got from Missy, who's still gonna be super early to this thing? Banks. Because Banks is always early, baby. You know, dude probably tweeted about Gun Stoken in 2010, bro, when he was building Face. He was like, "Yeah, yo, Gun Stoken, that's gonna be the 2025. We're gonna make you filthy fucking rich." In the word of Luca from Pudgy, which I'm still waiting for my first check from Abstract. All right, so like,
I want to be
don't
filthy
know.
fucking rich.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It sounds like a bunch of empty promises to me.
Yeah,
hey.
what the fuck, man?
Yeah, he said everyone, just to quote. He said, I'm going to make everyone filthy fucking rich. I'm still waiting for my first check.
I'm waiting for my checks, bro.
We listened to the wrong Luca.
I'm waiting for my $1.07 that I have in my Abstract wallet to come my way before taxes, baby.
Bro, that's gonna pump, and then they're gonna dump it because of the VC strategy that Missy just talked about. And I know that they all do this.
I'm gonna be the only trader that turns $1 into $30 million, baby.
You guys think you're slick. We all know you guys do this. We all know it. We know that you guys have been dumping the shrapnel token, all these different tokens. We know VCs. We're not stupid.
Dude, Beckers is not gonna cover Guns token.
Becker doesn't understand tokenomics, bro. Becker's a fucking he's a guy that likes to pump tokens and that he invested in. He's in the A, B, and fucking KOL round and shit. So he's gonna talk about it. He's gonna pump it. He's gonna exit.
Mizzy's gonna be beefing on the timeline with someone else now.
And then BitBoy's gonna have the ultimate comeback.
Dude,
are you not
come back. Dude's gonna come back in the form of a cat in stream, and he's just gonna be like, "I'm back. I saw Jesus, and now we're popping guns, man."
Wasn't he sentenced to 2 years in prison? Isn't he cooked for 2 years?
I don't know. The last time I heard about him, he was about to jump off a bridge, and then he said he saw the hand of God or something.
Yeah. No, I heard that they've arrested him because he was making threats to like a judge or whatever. So he's put away for 2 years. That's what I've heard.
Man, I wonder who told him to do that.
I appreciate you, Jackie. I appreciate you. Yeah, you were next to me while I was. She was next to me while I was fucking going off.
She was next to you. She was like.
Babe, go off, babe, go off.
Like if my VTuber had arms, you would have seen. You would have thought I was rapping, bro. I was so fucking mad.
She was like, "You gonna get the best dinner tonight."
Missy was like Theo Vaughn when he was talking about pigeons, but with he's like, "You don't tell your kids to buy guns, token. You told them to go buy Bitcoin or goddamn Ethereum, all right?
Look at the guns token. Respect. They don't have shoulders."
Yeah. You seen guns token? Guns token is like Bitcoin when it starts smoking.
Fucking love this show.
Missy gets like a mullet in his VTuber.
Oh, shit, I'm fucking dead.
He said pigeons don't have shoulders.
Yeah, bro, that was the best part.
No, culture truly is evolving every day.
You show your son a goddamn eagle or like an egret.
America, baby.
I fucking love Theo Von, dude. He's so funny. All right, man. Let's move on from the guns token thing. Arbitrum. Oh no, actually, Split Fiction has been so successful at launch that it's broken 3 Guinness World Records, making it officially the biggest launch weekend of any local co-op game ever released.
Fuck the Oscars.
Are co-op games making a comeback?
I think people are dying for something new. The reason why I asked that question, like the esports sprout or whatever, it feels like every game loop today has like some kind of like esports-ish component to it, where it's like if it was to go viral, it's because of the esport, right? And it's like the games like this, it's like this is like a purely content-based, purely like it is gonna revive it, right? I do think that.
Have you played Split Fiction, by the way?
I have not, but
okay, I haven't even seen it yet, so.
I know that this genre is loved, and like the thing is, like Siege will never know this. Like we grew up playing co-op couch gameplay like that. We grew up playing like Halo and doing campaign with split screen and shit. So like, it's something that's definitely still loved and wanted. So like, yeah, I'm really surprised that more games don't do this, to be honest.
Well, the reason I asked you if you played this because I haven't gotten a chance to see even like gameplay for it, right? But I was gonna ask like, what is people obsession with Split Fiction, like what's making it so good? Because this is the same people that made Takes Two, and I thought It Takes Two was a good game, but it wasn't like a revelation type of thing, like or anything like that. But it seems like split fiction. Something is grabbing people's attention within the game. So I don't know if it's like the fact that you can travel within worlds, or like I haven't seen gameplay, so I don't know.
I think there's like this like in-out world feature to it, where it's like the thing is like you're in two different worlds at the same time or something like that. I might be wrong. I might be totally wrong.
You're going through different worlds.
Yeah.
As the game progresses, you're it's like prehistoric age, futuristic, and there's a couple others. You're going through them as you progress.
Oh, you're telling me a Web 2 game figure out interoperability before Web 3 games? God damn, bro, we can never get a win. Fuck,
bro, that's not.
That's the one thing. That's the one. I know. I'm just fucking.
I'm fucking dead.
You guys are trying to get to me this weekend. What the hell?
Say, that's the one thing we had in Web 3 over everyone, bro. It's the interoperability that we were gonna bring into games.
Shit,
and now this goddamn game figured it out before us, bro.
We ain't have that, bro. Come on, we ain't even. Have that.
Hey man.
We just have a bunch of empty promises and announcements. Don't even get me started on interoperability.
The good people in Avalon are making interoperability.
Yo, Kobe, you remember all the interoperability we talked about for fucking 3 months on Spaces, and then the game came out and no, it didn't mint out, and then the game never came out. Actually, yeah, don't talk to me about interoperability.
Oh, Altera.
Yeah, fucking bullshit.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for a metaverse to be created, man. It's been like 5 years.
Damien said co-op's game works because of beaches.
Oh, there you go.
I'm sure he means the sandy ones.
The sandy ones. That's the intrigue. Damien, what? Are you okay, Damien? That sounds like a code. Like you're trying to communicate in code over here. Beaches, that's the intrigue. Like, are you kidding that, my brother? Do you need us?
Blink twice if you need help.
Yeah. Type 2 dots if you need us.
God, we're so old.
All right, man. But yeah, no, man, that's really cool for Split Fiction. I mean, props to them. Siege, have you had a chance to play Split Fiction? Are you liking it, or have you not had a chance to play it?
I haven't played it, but the gameplay looks pretty cool. And also a cool thing that they do is if one person buys it, you and your friend can play it. So that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
Really?
Every single game that
like online, you mean like a cloud game experience type of thing?
Look at, all I know is your friend. Your friend can play it. I buy it. You can play it with me.
So the way it works is that they didn't want to have to force people to buy 2 copies. So they made it so that you can like just like kind of play share it, like a PlayStation play share it kind of thing.
Damn, we appreciate you for doing that. It's not like the people that make Pokemon care about that type of stuff.
I love Pokemon.
Hey, it's all good. It's all good. I'll continue buying your game.
The golden age of gaming has long passed, Clouds. Everything is monetized now. You know this.
Actually, no. Nintendo did make some changes regarding that. They actually just released their newest thing, which is a digital games will come as a form of virtual game cards. So it's exactly what Split Fiction is doing essentially. Now, when you buy a Nintendo game, you'll be able to cloud share it with your friends, and they'll be able to have access to the game as well without having to buy a copy. So. W Nintendo, they finally made a good move for like the community. That's the King of
Couch co-op is finally going online. Finally.
Yep. Finally, seriously.
Yo, real quick, we got Daniel in the chat. Daniel, you know as well as I how bad those fucking gun tokenomics are for off the grid. Right?
Oh, we're going back to that. Hold on. Bring back up the screen. Bring it back up the screen.
Like you have a lesser chance of like not contracting AIDS at a fucking brothel than you have like buying this token and not getting fucked after 12 months.
What did he say?
Like,
yo, Daniel, while you're coming up with your thoughts on that, I do think that was such a dope feature from the 3DS, allowing your friends to play like games like that. Like I remember Mario Kart, we used to like do that, like just share it with people. I'm like,
that's also a feature in Smash. I'm just saying.
Yeah, like I think it's any game in the 3DS, right? Like you could like cloud share it.
Oh, I was just saying like you could have up to 8 players in Smash.
Oh, gotcha.
Yep.
Damn, 8 players in a Smash round sounds crazy.
It's awful.
I just wanted to shout out Daniel because he's like the only other person in Web3, in my opinion, that actually like knows what the fuck they're talking about when it comes to tokenomics.
And game takes too, like base game takes. Like I actually told him the other day, like I've joined his crusade of like calling out these fuckers that keep ruining our industry. So
he's also one of the only people aside from Missy that also cover WeMix games and like WeMix economy.
Well, I found out about it through him. Like
No.
because he was the only person that covered it for like a year. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And like JRP, I found out about Weemix because of JRP because JRP was like talking to them for some BD shit, and then I still noticed that Daniel was like the only one talking about like the tokenomics side. So like, yeah. But because we were covering guns and Gunzilla and fucking off the grid earlier, like, yeah, it just when I saw the tokenomics, I was like, why is everyone excited?
Yeah,
Like,
whatever
at all.
happened to JRP? I haven't heard from the Latin sensation in a minute, man. Where he been at?
Bro, he's been slowly
he's been around.
in his reggaeton arc. You haven't seen him on the TL?
Dude,
Every time I see him, his hair gets longer, and he has a bigger pair of glasses on, dude. It's fucking awesome. I'm like, bro, this guy, JRP is going through such an arc right now, bro. I fucking love it, dude.
Yeah. So you like here? All right, let me pull it up.
Not financial advice, but I could see the investors buying all 600 millions and hoarding them like De Beers does diamonds. It's going to be volatile. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Like, I'm telling you exactly how it's going to play out because we're looking at the fact that these platform rewards tokens will be unlocked over the next 13 months, basically, right? First month, nothing comes out. Then it's 12 months of like being unlocked during that. This is what gamers are going to be probably earning in some capacity from the game. And then everyone's just going to be buying this shit on the open market along with like the liquidity pool and the community incentives, right? Because private A, private B, strategic, everything has the 6 to 12 month cliffs. That means none of those tokens will be coming out. So they're going to pump the fuck out of this thing for like a year. And everyone's going to think this is a success. Like, it's going to look successful. And then after they line up the liquidity, the exit liquidity, like not only are they going to be buying the small supply that's going to be available to then dump on the gamers as they're buying them too, but then after they line up the exit liquidity for like a solid 8 to 12 months, bro, it's going to be disgusting. Like, it's just going to be embarrassingly disgusting. Like, you're going to regret if you ever covered Guns Token after about 13 months. Like, long-term shit. People are going to lose their shirt on this shit. They're gonna look up who talked about it, to call them scammers, to call them grifters. I want no part to do with that shit. I'm using this clip now so that I can pull it up in about fucking 16 to 20 months and be like, I told you so. Get the fuck off my dick.
Do you think that's ultimately gonna destroy the game when it does happen?
I think so.
I generally think that no one's going to even know because a lot of people are going to be on console playing it and not even know.
No, people are going to know. Bro, people are buying the pro pass thing to get more earnings inside the game for guns. And this is the outcome for that. I will be pissed. I will be pissed. Yeah, I will be pissed on that if you're charging me $13 a month for a quote unquote battle pass that gives me more earning incentives.
Well, let this be a PSA to play the game for 6 months, sell at the end of the 6 months, and get the fuck out. How about that?
We're giving you the signal to exit.
Well, whoever said, Catalyst is all about culture and content and fun. Like, you obviously don't know that real fucking gamers actually understand gaming fucking economies, which is why gamers have the real fucking alpha. And I'm telling you, bro, like, I want nothing to do with this in a positive way at all. Like, I'm not ever going to show you Guns Token. I'm never going to talk about that dog shit fucking token. Unless they change the tokenomics, I will be more than happy to eat my words. But after reading that tokenomic structure, I'm literally just like disgusted.
It's an interesting thing that we're talking about here. I've never really conceptualized that at some point in the future, we're going to need people like us that be like, hey, we should look into these tokenomics for this game because you're going to put a time into the game. You're going to put money into the game. You could get hurt. And government doesn't care, so like somebody's got to do it, right?
Or they could instant dump, buy the bottom, and then send it so many tokens in the hands of non-players, and no point of players buying them because they own all the guns and limbs from testnet. Exactly, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, they're creating the perfect storm for artificial pumps that get people excited to then just use them as like just farm them, bro. It's gonna be so bad. And to your point, Hado, that is exactly why like I took tokenomics so seriously and I learned so much about them because I noticed that they weren't doing any of that shit in this industry. And like, it's really simple when you look at a tokenomic structure and you say how much is going to the people providing the most value to the game. Like, in no economy in the world when it comes to gaming, does anyone provide more value to the game than the fucking gamers? Like, period. So they should always have the highest upside in the economy. And it's just like 99.9% of these Web3 games don't fucking do it. Like, and I'm sorry, everything's gonna look cozy for the next 7 to fucking 13 months, bro. And I'm telling you, like, when we're sitting in the middle of 2026 and this shit starts to go fucking left, I'm going to clip the fuck out of this segment and be like, you should have been paying attention.
Let's circle back next year around this time next year and see what the whole outcome of this thing has turned out into, because that's the only way to see it.
It's gonna be fucking horrible, and then everybody's all of a sudden gonna stop talking about it, and all of a sudden gonna be deleting tweets. And I got receipts, motherfuckers. So it's gonna be fun.
You better start deleting those tweets now.
It's gonna be fun for me, not for y'all.
We're gonna see a 7-page thread coming out of Messi, March 30th, 2026, with all the receipts.
And this is gonna be the perfect story to cover in the OG mag. Just saying.
Yeah. The 3-page splash page in the fucking magazine.
All right, I'm gonna shut the fuck up about gun token. Now we can move on.
Nah. Listen, let's I saw this earlier today, and I feel when it comes to esports league, like games like League, like Tekken, Smash, right? Bro, I feel like those leagues, the players and the coaches and just the crowd itself, they do so many shit that it's just to have fun. You get me? I really haven't seen behaviors like this, for example, like in leagues that are involving like shooters. Like I feel like players in shooters like esports and stuff have less fun than players do with like in esports for like League or like Tekken and stuff. But I saw this, the Cerdo put this in the timeline the other day. A Tekken player came to a tournament with his dog strapped to his back, making the dog the cutest Tekken coach ever. Let me pull this. Bro, this is actually so cool. This is so
segue.
Very dope.
Great job, Clouds. That was great. I love that.
Hey man, you know how I do it, bro. Nah, but let's look at this real quick. This is actually really funny. Look at this dog, dude. Like, first of all, for our space, you couldn't have picked a more iconic dog than a Shiba Inu, right? Like, that's like fucking perfect, dude. Like, it's meant to be,
Out there somewhere, some dumbass trying to figure out what that dog's name is, so to make it into a token.
Yes, bro. Facts. We're gonna see this in a token in a week or so.
Tekken
dog or coach dog. Look at him, bro.
Coach on sight data and another coach on smell data.
Bro, he must get hella hoes with that though.
Yo, he kind of looks like you, Hado. I like.
Oh my God, you got a dog!
Okay, so
yeah, baby, you like my dog.
I got a jet. He plays Leroy, and
I'll hang out sometime.
Look, it's giving it treats, bro.
He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's
Yo,
doing.
what if your dog is like hyping you up as you're playing? He's like, yeah. Do that double kick, motherfucker.
The dog.
Yeah, your base. The dog is like doing the shit talking for you.
You're telling me that the dog.
What if his opponent brought a cat on the other side?
What if it was another dog and just started barking at each other?
Yes.
Look at him, bro. He's like, what are you doing, bro? Like, put me down. Like,
dog a lot of times.
No, this is actually based. That's the type of shit I like to see in esports arena.
Man's best friend.
I always thought I don't know if you ever saw the, like when the league championships happen, like when they bring out the freaking like mascots and stuff like that for each team. I think that's like the dopest thing ever, bro, to do in like an esport event.
They do that in esports?
Yeah, dude. Like, I thought you watched League esport
mascots.
Yeah, they each, like, a lot of teams have a mascot, like NBA mascot type of shit, like people that are dressed up and stuff.
Furries
In the other world, yeah. Like in Ramen World is furries.
Oh, I mean, I've never. I just watch them play like highlights these days. I don't really watch the live shit anymore, so I don't know.
Yeah, no, they get hyped up, bro. They get hyped up. The crowd is crazy.
I believe on the furries part, though. I'm sure that they are.
Oh, they definitely have a lot of furries, but there's no bigger furry than Sonic. We all know that.
Yeah, Sonic Fox. Yeah.
Yeah, dude's out there. It reminds me of the dude from Wildcard. Who?
The dog?
The dog?
Or the guy?
Or the tokenomics from Guns.
Oh shit!
We need a Shiba Dush skin of King in Tekken. Oh,
yeah,
that'd be cool.
That would actually be kind of hard.
Yeah, that would be
the guy with
hard,
a bear on his back. yeah, I see what you mean. Lock.
Oh, the character that has the bear. The yeah, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah. That's actually cool. Let's see what else. Marvel did like a freaking live stream, dude. Do you guys see this? By the way, they did a live stream. I stayed in there for like 30 minutes, and for the whole 30 minutes, it was just like the back of the casting shares just being presented on the screen. Like nothing happened.
What did
It
you
was
say?
just that, and there was at least like 5 million people tuned into this thing.
So it was just a shot of a theater room. Like
No, it
what
was a
happened?
seat. It was like the director's seat. You know,
And that was it for like 5 hours. It was just a shot of a seat,
I think so.
and everyone
look.
watched it.
And this was Marvel. What the fuck was this?
Overall tuning was 15.7 million people.
And
That's
they just watched. They just watched a chair.
Pull it up. Let me pull it up.
It was like every 20 minutes, something would reveal a new
All the
chair.
cast members, yeah.
Yep.
Like people are coming in and all that type of stuff. But yeah, this was it. Like it was literally the whole.
They should have.
It was like a credit scene,
They
basically.
said if you want to make it onto the stream, you're gonna have to get onto the Marvel Rivals casting couch, bitch.
Pedro Pascal, baby.
I think it was a huge missed opportunity. They could have like partnered with a streamer or something, and it would have been more interesting. But
was it a missed opportunity?
I don't know. They just showed chairs.
5 million tune in for like the easiest, like less effort stream in the world.
Yeah, why are we watching chairs? What's wrong with these people? What's wrong with them? Do they have lives? Why are they watching a chair?
No, this is
Oh,
actually
Here. You want it? Here you go. Here you go.
We're
audience.
talking
Here you
about
go.
a chair. What does that say about us?
Hey,
yo, bro,
Here you go.
you need to blur out your feet, bro. You can't be showing your
Here
feet
you go.
like without a paywall.
There you go. I know you,
You can't
girl.
be
I don't
showing
need to do
toes
that.
on stream.
I know you, girl. Listen, hey, for 5 hours, you guys are gonna stare at this chair. Goodbye.
But it doesn't have a name on it, bro. You need to put a name on it. Put like a piece of paper with a famous name on it.
Yeah, what the fuck, Hato?
You know, that's not worth it at that point.
Are you trying to market for AMP with that lightning bolt? Like I thought.
No, the
I thought
Flash. This is
we're
the
man.
Flash,
kind of guys
dude.
now.
This is
How do-
the
how do-
Flash. There's nothing to do with AMP.
Oh my God, he
he's just trying to
showed
clip art.
AMP, bro.
He's trying to clip art.
Hato
No.
is
You're not gonna do
leaving
this.
Catalyst for camp. You heard it here first. His business
First of all,
post.
I don't even think I have the viewership to do that. Even if I wanted to.
It's moving to Atlanta. My arm is like falling off, dude. Like,
And second of all, why would I want to babysit a bunch of Zoomers? Sounds
Why
boring.
all,
He's just like, why
that's
not?
what Duke does.
I will
Yeah,
say this, though, the chair
are
is
you
red.
younger than Duke Dennis? I thought you were younger than Duke Dennis.
Wait, Duke Dennis is old?
Nah,
Yeah.
Duke Dennis. I mean, Duke Dennis is a much
I think his-
more. He's above the Zoomer age, bro. He's in his 30s.
I think it's in his 30s. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought he was like
Yeah.
20 something.
Yo, by the way, this is a guy that he was talking about with the bear on the back.
Yeah, Daniel was
Volgar.
talking about. Yeah.
Uh,
He's 31, bro. He's 31 years old. Duke Dennis.
Damn.
Bolgar and Bert.
He's Unk in Amp, bro. Yo, speaking of Amp, do you guys see that new video they drop of like their $30 million or like $3 million like car collection or whatever?
Mm-mm.
Nah, I
That
did
was
not
great,
see that
bro.
shit.
They have a lot of cars.
What
So,
kind
yeah.
of cars they got in there?
Well, I thought the funniest one was Chris because he showed two cars. One of them was like a nice BMW 760, I think is what it was. And then the other one was like this fucking beat up like Camaro, like I don't even know what it was, bro. It was like a fucking beat up car with like flat tires and everything. And they were all like roasting him for it. That shit was funny.
No,
But the biggest
Hyundai
collection
Elantra?
was Agent. Agent had like 7 cars, bro, including a Ferrari.
It's 7 cars?
Yeah, including a Ferrari. He had like, bro, this dude has an M4 that looks like it came out like a Need for Speed Underground. Like
Can you
with
guys just explain to me the mentality behind having more than one car?
there is no, I don't know. I don't understand that. I hate cars, dude. That's the one thing I would never spend money on.
It's like 7 depreciating assets.
Oh, as soon
I
as you
mean-
drive it off the lot.
I mean, it really depends. It really depends the cars you're buying, what price you're buying them at, what years you're buying. Like, I've made profits off of cars, but
There are people that are collectors
because I
too,
bought
you know,
them at the bottom of the depreciation curve. You know,
Like with shoes, I get it. Like you have different shoes for different outfits. With cars, like
you had different cars for different occasions, baby.
what?
You know? Sometimes,
man,
sometimes
just
you
some
want to.
people,
Sometimes
some
you
people
want to
just
slow
like being.
cruise in the right lane. Got the shorty, she wearing a nice little dress on the side. You got your hand on the thigh type shit. Then sometimes you want to be, you want to be,
All right, well,
swerving
listen, bro. We're not old Drake, bro. We're not old Drake. All right, I don't know where you're getting this mentality from. Like, what the
sometimes,
fuck are you talking about?
sometimes you want to be swerving around in the left lane and cutting people off, and sometimes you want a nice winding road and you want a car that got a little more grip. Pause.
Ew.
You know,
Okay.
sometimes
We know what Miss is spending his gun token on.
sometimes you need the whip that got space for the dog and your mom and your mother-in-law and kids and shit. Like different cars for different occasions, man. Different cars for different occasions.
I will
But
say,
you should
out of
never
all
buy
of
a
them-
car new. You should never buy a car new.
True. I agree with that point.
Yeah.
I would say out of all of them,
Oh my God! No way!
It's so fucking obnoxious.
yeah, bro, that's like too much. You're doing too much. No, but I will say out of all of them, probably the biggest car collector was Agent because he had like the most, like he had like an actual car for like drifting. Like he actually, you could tell that he knew about cars.
Okay, like that I understand. Like a car that is intended to just be a race car or a drift car, and you only use it for that purpose. I get that, right? But like, you're telling me, 7 of those? That's crazy.
Yeah,
I mean,
seven of them
you need the drag racing car, you need the drifting car, and then you can never have just one drifting car. You gotta have at least one.
Dude had a
Japanese.
truck he hadn't seen in 7 years, bro.
That's just
Like you
dumb.
haven't seen your car in 7 years. You need to let go of that motherfucker. Bro.
That's
Like,
just dumb.
Let it go, bro. Just let it go.
Personally,
like
I don't-
Wes did and compete.
Personally, I don't think anyone needs more than 2 cars.
I only need one, bro.
Yeah. I
don't
would
need
say
two.
like if you have a family and like mother, father drive each vehicle, that's 2 cars, like marriage type shit. Sure.
Now
2
one of
cars.
us is taking the bus, bro, or Uber. I don't know what
Like,
you're on about, bro.
I'm the type of dude to need at least one car to be like sporty with. And I'm fucking dead. This motherfucker's get on the
Oh, one of us is taking Uber on the bus.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. 2 cars, bro.
I need
you
one
think
car
this
to,
You have 2 legs. You have 2 legs. There you go.
You have 2 legs.
yo.
We're showing our age
It's
today.
diabolical. Oh shit.
Back in my day, I used to walk 15 miles.
Back where I'm from, bro. Like in Cuba,
Yo.
you don't got no fucking car, bro. You're lucky if you have a wheel. Like, what the
Bro, Nat is gonna come into that room and hit this.
Nah,
guy
that's
with
the
a
car. I'm
fucking
the motherfucker walking, dude.
Oh shit.
Oh man. Oh man.
Oh man. Yeah, bro. I'm the type of dude to need a car to like bump 50 Cent, slow cruising type shit, but it could pick up and get sporty, and then and then the sport car. I don't believe in like family cars. Like no, fuck them kids.
Fuck them kids. If
Like-
they ain't my kids, then fuck them kids. That's what that's
That
what it
motherfucker's
is.
that motherfucker's riding in the front since he's.
I
newborn,
love
baby.
my kids, but if they ain't mine, fuck them.
You pull over Missy. You pull over Missy with his baby. He doesn't even have a car seat, bro. The baby's strapped with a seatbelt. Like, seatbelt's like on his face and shit. Like,
Damn. Mizzy as a father. That's a crazy thought.
yeah, man. In the
Damn.
anime
Bro,
world,
them kids.
when
are
Missy
fucked.
becomes a father, behind him is gonna be a little crib in the anime world. It's gonna be like a little baby that pops up every so often. Like, you know,
We're gonna
saying
be
hi.
talking. We're gonna hear. Oh, hold on one second, guys. It's
Yo,
okay.
hold on, man. I gotta
It's
give the
okay.
milk to my baby, bro. One
little
second.
fucking Gohan type bitch in the corner. I'd be like, yo, straight up, bro. Like,
Stop crying! Destroys the
you
moon
gotta
and
stop
shit.
being a
Like,
bitch, bro.
He's gonna be like, do you mind?
hey, yo,
And
listen,
it's
bro. We
second-
don't make money. We don't make money in tokenomics if you keep crying like that. All right, like we gonna need you to.
the second he said anything inappropriate, I'm the first motherfucker saying pause too.
Yeah.
No, that's his first word. The first word of your child will be pause.
Oh shit.
Oh man, too much.
Shit.
All right, man. Let's keep going with these topics real quick. Arbitrum is announcing a new gaming program called Catalyst. No pun intended. for
Wait, what?
$220 million. But if I read this article correctly, this is something
No,
that
they
the
want to get rid of
Arbitrum,
it. Yeah.
yeah,
They
the
used
Arbitrum.
us?
Well, hold up. Arbitrum as the chain thinks that this is a good idea, but the DAO that's funding the all of this stuff, all these incentives, they are not happy with the outcome that the program has had so far, and they're petitioned to take back the 220 mil, baby. They say, hey, put that shit back in our hands because we're about to enter a rough state right now, and we need the money. All right, so
We need
Wait,
the money
wait.
so we can buy
Uh,
guns and dump on people.
Time
yeah,
out.
that's what I'm saying. Yo, give back the 220 mil. This other game is about to have a funding round that's gonna go crazy. Let's put the 220 into that. Wait a year, and then we're dumping, baby.
When was this entity established? Because we were established in 22. So when was this established?
I mean,
That's
we're
right,
established in
we don't have
23,
copyright into
but-
Catalyst because that's not the name of our
but-
brand. But yes,
23. You're right.
but-
Sorry.
But they announced this 220 million right before we got the grant, bro. I mean, we were sponsored by Arbitrum. Like, it was literally like 3 months before we got the grant. It was like middle of last year, almost a year.
So like, was that an exchange? Like, we got the grant, and they're like, we're gonna use Catalyst as the name.
No, man, no. They just
No,
call it
man.
the Gaming Catalyst Program. This fucking troll.
This guy, bro. We're not Nintendo, bro. We're not gonna be suing anyone.
Yeah, we got the grant because they use our fucking name. That's
We
right,
say
Arbitrum.
food.
We're glad. We're happy that we could come to an agreement
Hmm.
on our IP.
Right. So they borrowed our name.
Nah.
Just kidding.
But they feel like the program hasn't been successful, and that it's not really doing much for Arbitrum as an ecosystem. They actually, a lot of people within the DAO feel that gaming shouldn't be the focus anymore, and
Ooh.
they also don't feel that the monies that they have spent have been even the most beneficial way to do the gaming. I don't know. I felt like 220 million was a big number to begin with. I would have probably done a preliminary thing with a lesser amount. I do think that a lot of the grants that got passed after a while felt very repetitive. Like where I would say we were like no bias, but we were one of the more unique ones where we have like a TV network kind of feel that we could like do things with. We brought some range with the game nights. Like we brought like 4 or 5 different things that we could do with them on the grant level. But even then it was like we lost a lot of momentum throughout the grant because games kept leaving Arbitrum. So it was just like we were cut by like 60 to 70% of the games we had content to create with halfway through the grant. I would say that they really need to figure out like what the direction of the program really is, rather than just like we fund things, or like come up with real KPIs that both the games and the marketers need to achieve. Like invest into games, maybe instead of spending, I don't know, 10, $20 million on like creators or something, like find groups of people that really have real plans that will help the games actually scale and attain users, rather than like just hitting like impression KPIs and things like that. Like I would love to pick like a game or two to align with on Arbitrum, and for us to almost run like a very specific style campaign as like potentially a content studio or something that like helps create guides for the game, and like that type of stuff gets used to do things with. I think it needs to be more of a one-to-one basis rather than like a generalized spend, in my opinion.
I agree with you. Every word. It's true.
Yo, real quick, shout outs to That Mode Gaming on Party. We appreciate you, legend. Thank you for watching us and supporting. Appreciate you.
Yo, what's up, Dad Mode? You've been
We need a
crushing it out
fucking.
there. And
We need to
Raven
fucking be
Quest
the air horn for this.
and fuck 77-bit. I agree with you. That team sucks.
Fuck 77-bit. Hell yeah. Wait, who said that?
This is the shout out alert.
Dad Mode. I had read Dad Mode's tweet the other day where he got like fucked over by 77-bit. He's like a big Raven Quest player too. Yeah, he was just like the only people that's been honest about like what they've been doing over there.
You're cutting in and out again.
Can you hear me
he's
now?
lagging really bad. Yeah.
little bit. Yeah.
One of the people that's been honest about like what they're doing over there and like how shady some of their practices.
Yeah. Got most of that.
He said how shitty their practices are at the end.
Yeah, that's what he said.
All right. Well, listen, this is the perfect opportunity to give a shout out to our sponsor real quick, and then we'll be right back with the show. Oh, maybe not.
Chat,
Oh, wait,
yeah,
wait.
I'm talking to you, chat. Did you guys know that Arbitrum's got some fire games for you to try out? From racing a kitty cart to battling in golden ties, Arbitrum's got it all. Want to be a pirate? Pirate Nation is calling you. Feeling adventurous? Explore Meiji on the Xi L2 blockchain. Or if you're into strategy, Maelstrom on the Uprising chain is your jam. Don't take my word for it. Try it out for yourself and level up your gaming life on Arbitrum today. Warning, these games give you too much hype. Follow Arbitrum Games for more. Crypto Hot approves this message. I think I need to make a new ad.
Yeah, we need a new ad.
It's time, man.
Get
It's
to
time.
work, man. Come on.
Especially
shout
after
out-
what we just said.
Well, shout outs to them, man. Shout outs to our sponsor. You guys already know Arbitrum, Word Insecurity, and RefGG. Make sure you guys give them a check. All right, they're pretty cool peeps. But yeah, man. No, let's get back. Okay, guys, it's time to talk about the biggest elephant in the TL throughout this week. The Studio Ghibli and AI controversy that's been going on.
I'm
Ooh.
ready.
Let's get into it because I know everybody has different takes on this,
Yes.
and we may not be friends after this anymore.
I
don't
really
know.
wish I could bring Johnny up on this part too.
No, honestly, I don't have much to say about this. My only problem, I honestly don't have any problem with the AI thing that's happening with Studio Ghibli and people using it. I think art is always meant to be an inspiration for people to express themselves. So I don't have problems with people like recreating themselves as a Disney character or a Studio Ghibli character or whatever. My main problem is with the cringy people that use this and take advantage of it, and now all of a sudden they try to find a way to monetize this IP when they know they shouldn't be doing that. You get me? And I think that's the problem I have with all of this AI like trend that's been going on with recreating IPs through AI, is that some people are using it to monetize. You get me? And that's the part where I'm like, that's not cool to the people that are putting the work behind that art, man. You get me? Because AI wouldn't even be able to come up with this type of art style if it didn't have the database that Studio Ghibli has created through the decades of work, you get me, to study and recreate it, basically. You get me? So I don't know. That's all I have to say on that.
I
Well,
would
yeah,
say
man.
this: it's recreated with flaws. Like, if you told me that all this stuff is like a 1-to-1, it's not. It just isn't, and it never will be, because the AI is built so that it has built that in protection, that it's not just copying and pasting; it's using inspiration. So the process you just talked about is exactly the same process that goes on the way that most models find art. Right? They find inspiration online. They make a reference to that, and then they make their own version of it. So even when you do upload your photos and recreate yourself in a Disney state or whatever, like you said, it's not a 1-to-1. So it's not even like a recreation of what is already been seen. So I agree with you. Like it's hard to like police this, because the rate at which AI is accelerating is so fucking fast. And it's like anytime that somebody does something to try and like stop it or like, slow it down a little bit, it doesn't matter. Like they just do another update. And then the other thing too is like China's like, we don't care about copyright at all, right? So China's like, go away. Yeah, not go away. Go nuts. Like go nuts with the copyright. We don't give a fuck. So there's also that part of it too. And it's like the other AI companies, are they gonna like be more restrictive because now they're competing with China's companies? You know what I mean? So like, are they going to be more restrictive and be like, oh, this is like bad, right? Like we need to stop this. If China's like, go ahead, because now they're losing business to China. So there's it's a little complicated, I think. But I agree with you. Like it's bad to like monetize work that's not yours.
Yeah, and I don't even think this is not an AI problem. Like AI is not the issue in this case. It's the people. You get me there? Like again, bro, like this whole Studio Ghibli thing, it's not even like, oh, look how cool AI has gotten. It's more like I'm just part of a trend. You get me? And that's internet culture. It's just being part of trends, trying to go viral with certain things. And I guess the question I have for you guys, at what point does it become too far, right? Because we've also seen things like this right here, for example, where it's like coming from you know, a government standpoint and like a political standpoint,
That's
and
insane.
they're even getting into the meme. You get me? And this is crazy, bro, because this is like a real situation. So
I mean that one right there is just like internet culture though. Like everyone
I
was
mean,
laughing.
I don't have any sympathy for this because it's not like this is a good person either. You get me?
Yeah.
Like if you scroll right down, it tells you who this person is and what they're doing and what they got caught for. But at the same time, it's like, bro, like now we're involving politics and like real world event into a meme. So is that far enough, or like is that should that be the stopping ground, or should it be like, nah, fuck it?
I
Like
mean,
that's part of
political
the fun.
memes are not new, but I understand what you're saying. Like it does. I've seen some like fucked up ones, you know, and it's like either you ban it all or you let it all happen. That's kind of like what X has turned into.
I mean, I just don't think some people want their art to be associated with certain things. Like, I'll be honest.
True.
Like, as someone that, like, I'm by no means anywhere close to Hayao Miyazaki, but, like, I come up with original shit. Like, I would not want my art style to be utilized for dumb shit like this, personally.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think that, unfortunately, blockchain, in my opinion, is actually going to need to be enforced to create almost like regulatory practices around AI art, because you have to have like smart contracts that can actually like hold people accountable and things like that.
Yeah, I agree with that so much.
Because, and this was, if we actually go back to like one of our first like 15 TCE episodes, like one of those like early ones, I said that my bold thesis on blockchain was solely because of AI. Like, I like all the stuff that you could do with the tech, but I think AI, the way that it's going, the only way to actually be able to enforce regulation on it would be through like blockchain, because it's also the only way to be able to verify certain things, like what's real and what's fake, in a world that's going to become like deep fake, right? Like, we're going to have so many deep fake things going on, like so many things that say, hey, like, how are you going to know who has a license to sell Hayao Miyazaki goods or Studio Ghibli goods, right? Like, it's going to get to a point where the AI is so widespread. But what, you hit me with the cease and desist, I can spawn up another store tomorrow, right? Like, because this AI tech makes it so easy for me to like launch a Hayao Miyazaki theme store and sell plush.
Yeah. By the way, you're breaking up again on your mic.
All right, so I'll kind of just like put a stop to it there, because I mean,
No, I mean, I get what you're saying. Actually, that's a really good idea, in my opinion. That would actually solve a real world pain point. You get me?
Yeah. So I actually have the same thesis, and I've had this thesis for a long time, and I also have the same thesis when it comes to like how to stop cheaters in Web3 gaming, or just gaming in general. Is like you have to implement AI to be actively listening or looking for things, right? And I do agree with you. Like there has to be some kind of identifier. I mean, I believe, this is my belief, is that the NFTs that we all enjoyed and loved for a while, it was like a soft launch or soft opening into like a mindset of like, that's the next step to fix the NFT. It's like you have to take the next step to take to add AI into it to verify everything, right? And I agree with you. Like I think that's the way forward. And then I also think there's going to be like some type of file type or signature that the AI can like read into for the AI art. I think that's going to be a regulatory move that's going to come in the future. So that way people can't just steal shit and like take a style that is not their own and like try and monetize it. So I think that's like something they're going to try and do to fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And from
because,
oh, go ahead.
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Bro. All right,
you
cool.
do you, man. You do you.
Yeah, because like I think that I thought it was really cool in the beginning. It was just like, it kind of reminded me of early Facebook, back when people used to do like the quizzes and shit. Like everybody's just like having fun, right? It was like a wholesome moment. But then you know that there's like any opposite side to that is like malicious or monetizing it or finding ways to do weird shit. So it's like, I like the wholesomeness of that experience. Like we did one at Catalyst, you know, for fun, because it was kind of cool. But at the same time, it's just like, man, I wish that people didn't take it the wrong way and do weird shit with it. I do think we end up in a position where the space as a whole like has to find like what is allowable for like social, and then what is not allowable when it comes to like the commerce side of things, and how do we enforce that. and I think like we're gonna, because of this tech, we're gonna come across some really interesting artists. As far as like people that do unique shit with the AI tech and stuff like that. So, it's something that we're gonna have a couple of interesting years ahead of us. But I think it gets worse before it gets better.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think so too. From the
Agreed.
standpoint of ChatGPT, which is like the processor that everybody's been using to create this art, their CEO came out the other day and said that the demand for Studio Ghibli, like, what's it called, like image generation, has been so high that it's basically melting the processor for ChatGPT. So they had to start enforcing some images generation restrictions so that people couldn't generate Studio Ghibli anymore on demand, because it was just freaking frying ChatGPT basically with the amount of supply that it was demanding.
Yeah, now they have like a cooldown period. So I actually made my own account last night, and I was trying to show a friend that exact thing we were doing, like the Studio Ghibli, and it wasn't working as fast as it was this past week. But what I noticed is if you start a new chat, it would work fast again. Like it would forget that.
Oh, like
you
the
talk-
history, like that you've talked
Yeah.
with it and stuff. Gotcha.
Yeah, so there's ways to go around it, but it
There's
looks
a
like
loophole
what
for
they're
everything, bro.
yeah, but it looks what they're doing is they're rate limiting people. So if you do one generation of that style that's like hot in demand, it'll still do it, but it's like you can't just continue to do it like over and over again. It's like, hold on, you got to wait 10 minutes now, and then a 10-minute wait turned into 34 minutes, and I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna do something else.
So let's talk to somebody that, because Siish, you do a lot of graphic designs. You actually mess a lot with what's this program that you've been learning? Vector, is it? What's the name of the program you've been learning, Siish? Oh,
Sorry, I thought it was
Siish.
immediate Blender.
Blender and stuff like that, right? Where's your stand, being someone that does graphics as an editor? What's your stand on AI and the way people are using it nowadays?
This is fun. I think AI has its uses. I personally don't think it should be involved with replicating art when it comes to like established things like Halo, anything established. Because for example, if you've seen examples of like when it tries to replicate Halo, it looks like utter shit. Utter shit.
Agreed.
Again, AI has its uses with certain things, like with trying to like for research, cancer, things like that. Again, it has its uses. I'm all for it, but replicating things that are current and already established is a no-go for me. I don't judge anyone. Like, I'm not going to like hate you if you're like, because you guys have used it. I've seen how like I've done it. It's been interesting. I even talked to Damien about this, just seeing how you guys go about it, and it's pretty cool. But like I said, I think it's with established things is where it really draws the line. I'm more like, I guess you could say the middle area, but I don't think you should outright use it. All right, hey, because I've seen people in the Halo community try to like replicate it, and they get torched in the community. People, when they say AI, they call it the hell out. It's crazy. I mean, rightfully so though, because it looks like shit. Don't get me wrong, I'm gonna tell you if something looks good, but it seems I'm more in the middle. Clearly, I would say I'm a bit farther towards it shouldn't be done with art, but I'm open. I'm not a dickhead. But yeah, I mean I guess that's my thoughts. I don't know how to...
If I could also paint like a positive note on this too, and kind of like a not a positive, but like a hey, this is the reality of the situation too. All these different companies that are competing for the spotlight in AI are throwing ethics out the window. I mean, you look at Microsoft; they literally fired their ethics department when it came to AI. They said it was a waste of money. So we're not even fighting with ethics in the first place. So it just comes down to like, it's a dog eat dog world. And I completely understand where you're coming from, but a lot of people don't care. Right.
Oh, 100%.
And it comes down to like, do we support those people or not? And I think it's just really like, what are they using it for? What are the products they're making? Are they blatantly stealing or ripping a concept from somebody else? Like, yeah, that should be called out and talked about. I think that should always happen. But I do also think that there is a world of AI where you can use it for enhancing workflow, enhancing creativity, maybe even like helping with homework. You know, like
Yeah.
I've seen cases where people are using it. Some are in college are using it just to cheat, but some are using it to like say, hey, this math problem, I don't understand it. Can you help me out? Right.
Break it down.
And, yeah. And I think one thing that AI has done, that maybe this is a little dystopian, but it has allowed people to feel a little less alone, right? So if like I need a little bit of information and I don't know who to go to for that information, I do have AI to like refer to. So that's the one little positive light I'd like to spin on it.
I will say, going back to the point of like positive, negative, I think this is why I'm glad I do video editing and other stuff. Because I think eventually, like I hope I'm wrong personally, I think you will see less graphic designers and things like that, like of their own work. I mean, like purely them drawing, them putting together. I hope I'm wrong personally, but I think it's a situation where you can adapt. Like even as myself as a graphic designer, I think it could. I'm talking far future. I don't use AI for any of my stuff, but like maybe there'll be a time in the future where they're still graphic artists and they're utilizing AI. They're still in that field. They're not like will replace, because like all the prompting and things, I'm sure you could make some really crazy stuff. Like I've seen some of the cool stuff you've done. I'm sure a lot of prompted thinking goes into that rather than just put I want picture look like this. You know what I mean? It's not that. So process, dude. Yeah, so I think that's where graphic designers will still be a thing in the future. They'll learn that. It's another way of mastering their craft.
Yeah.
And that's if they want to stick with it. I say if because again, there's a lot of headbutting with AI, let's be honest. But if they want to stick with it and stay in that field, they're going to have to adapt.
Yeah,
if it does,
absolutely.
Yeah, if it does continue. Like I said, I hope personally, I'm sorry, this is just me, because I appreciate the looks. Like I said, I don't want some shit Halo fucking crap in the future. I want it to be the exact art from the studio. Like, that's why I like Blender, because it's like, you can take the exact thing from the game, they use the skeleton, model it how you want. I see people using like AI, like, to make their own Spartan thumbnail. I'm like, bro, that looks like absolute shit. It just does. And it's yeah, you could say I'm arguing the fact more of it looks like shit than, oh, it's wrong. Like, yeah, don't get me wrong. I think it is wrong to some degree. Like I said, you should not use AI to replicate current products, because one, it's going to look like shit. Two, you have the assets out there from the fucking company to make your own stuff. I get you want to be quick. Oh, let me do this, but quality is important to me.
Yeah.
Quality is important.
Yeah, no, but I agree with you, and I agree with your take on like for artists and not just graphic designer. I think this goes for any industry. If you want to stay around and survive, right, and continue doing the job that you may love or like the career you need to adapt and learn how to use AI. And the way I see it down the line, specifically for like designers, for example, is offering it as a service, right? Like, hey, like I could either do this hand drawn for you and spend like 2 months turnaround to complete the work, or we also can use our AI tool and generate it through AI, and that's a 3-day turnaround instead. You get me? Yeah. So it's like whatever, it will be more in the hands of the customer based on what they want and what they're looking for, based on the time frame they need the job to be done and deliver. And that would be a huge asset for designers, because like I said, it will be like part of their packages, right? Like I can still know the skill to do this by hand drawing it myself and designing it from scratch if I wanted to. But if you, the customer, want it faster, I do have the option of providing you with that with these tools, right? And that's what I told Missy and Haddle behind the scenes when we were talking about this without recording or anything, is that for me, anybody that's using AI and calling themselves or selling themselves as an artist, but they're not able to do the work if they didn't have the AI tool, that person is not an artist. You get what I'm saying?
100%.
It's like, now, if you take away the AI and you're still able to do the job that you're telling me you can do, because you have that knowledge, you have that experience as a graphic designer, then that is an artist in my eyes. You get me? And they can use AI as much as they want to further their business. But yeah, man, it's just a way you monetize it, in my opinion.
I don't want to misrepresent Johnny's position, but he has said this to me in the past. When AI is when AI is able to, I guess you could say, like, create the artwork that he would be able to create, and you could just type it out where it knows its style, but it's only to like his access, meaning like he's the only one that can do it. He thinks that that's the only way he would use AI, because then he could create things faster within his world that he's creating or whatever. And it would still look like, how it would look. But like, if you just like type a prompt of like whatever he would do, like his vision of what he would create, AI has not been able to replicate that yet. So like from an artist perspective, I think your art style needs to be established. Like Siege is saying, if it's an established thing, it's not like AI is not going to be useful to you because you've already have established thing. And then when you try to do things with established images, it always fucks them up, right? Always, too many arms, too many hands, whatever. So like that's been his like take or perspective for the whole time. And like I don't think he's fearful of AI because like again, he has an established image. So I think that artists, like if they want to like stay ahead of the AI, establish your image, like because no one can really take away your brand of art, really,
bro. And when it comes to art, it's not gonna be like AI, the tool or the software. It's gonna take the artist's job. It's gonna be another artist that learned how to use AI, taking that the artist that's not using AI's job. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like it's never gonna be a world where AI is it's like a person and it's taking over people's job. You get me? As of right now, that's not gonna happen. And I personally don't think I'm gonna be at an age where I can see that happen to care. You get me? To the point where I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna be my everyday life thing. But AI, as of right now, is definitely a very strong tool that can advance people's performance in many levels. You get me? But as of right now, if an artist loses their job or gets less customers to AI, it's because there's another artist out there that's using the tool to offer like not even better results, just more efficiency.
I think that if you're an artist, you're probably going to have like a leg up on the competition because you understand color theory, you understand like
exactly
all these different things that art terms like would understand, and the average Joe doesn't know how to do that shit. So you still have an advantage too.
Yep, absolutely. It's like the same way that photographers use AI to generate really high quality, realistic photos. It's because they have the knowledge of like composition and lighting and like all these things that you would need when you're shooting a professional camera to like know how to compose a picture that comes out that way. You get me? So yeah, really cool stuff, man. Well, moving on to our final topic for today, where Elon Musk decided that he was going to sell his own company and buy it back with his other company. So,
what the fuck?
No, dude, just woke up on that type of feeling, I guess. And he said, fuck it. Elon Musk AI company XAI has acquired X, formerly known as Twitter, in an old stock deal. The transaction values XAI at $80 billion and the social media platform at $45 billion, including debt. Fucking wild, man. This man is just...
You don't know why I'm laughing so hard? Why? Because I read this post that, you know, the people that hate Elon, I won't talk about who they are, but you know who they are, right? The people that hate Elon, they were like, I'm so happy. Twitter's back. Elon finally sold it. And I'm like, yeah, he sold it to his other company.
No, friend, Elon bought the company fully. Like there is no other stockholder now.
Yeah.
Other than other than the entity he owns. So if anything, that was a big middle finger to all those people that hate him because you know they've been trying to deplatform him for a while and like block him in any way possible. So now he's like, now I can really do whatever the fuck I want with this platform. You get me? Like
it's just like reading is
more syncs.
Reading is a lost art today, and it's just like if you just kept reading, you'd find out like, oh hey, the company he just sold it to was his own. Like nothing has changed.
That's because people don't read anymore. People get their information on TikTok in a 10-second video.
So true.
You know, but yeah, man, that's wild. I mean, I don't even know how this is beneficial in any way, but like, it sounds cool that he bought it.
I mean, I think it was just a flex. I think a lot of the big, a lot of the big reason behind it was because he wants to integrate the AI, the XAI technology more into X, and essentially it seemed like he was getting some pushback from like the original board or some shit. So he just decided to just fucking buy it and do it anyways. So it was just more or less like, all right, guys, I mean, fuck it.
So you're not gonna let me implement the tool? Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, like he had obviously already integrated Grok and things like that, but I think it'll be interesting to see how a more AI-driven social media works. Like we already have it with the algorithm and stuff, but like essentially, like what else can be done with it with AI? You know, like how far does the rabbit hole go with this one? So essentially, it was his move to make X more of an AI-driven social media, and they also talking about integrating like a debit card and like other shit. So it's like it's very interesting to see like how he wants to drive the innovation on this platform with like the debit card, the bank account, making it almost like an everything app.
Mhm.
And it just felt like the current shareholder structure was getting in the way of that, so he just decided to also clear its debt because X did
Yep.
have a certain amount of
12
debt.
billion.
Yeah, so he just decided to clear its debt and give himself essentially the rights to do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yep.
All at the same time. So
Giga
Maybe
Chad.
maybe the
if you can
XAI will
do it,
figure out how
do
to
it,
make X
GG.
life better.
Yeah, exactly. Like give streamers features. Like
Jesus, God
we
damn.
don't need to launch rocket ships out of X, my guy. We just need to stream on it.
We don't even need a fucking debit card, bro. Just bring better features.
Yeah, for real.
XRP.
SRP. SRP is the solution for everything.
XRP is going to be the official token of X.
Mhm.
There you go. Because it starts with
Hopefully.
an X. Yeah.
Exactly.
Actually, a lot of people have that thesis, either XRP or XLM.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it on Twitter. That's why I said it.
The speculation. Love it. Love it. All right, boys. Well, another fantastic episode of the podcast in the what do we say? In the books? Yeah, in the books. There you go.
I do have a closing thought.
Oh, of course you do, brother. You always have a closing thought.
But
Go
doesn't
ahead.
Yeah, this one's very important. So Johnny got banned yesterday or 2 days
Oh,
ago on
Where?
Twitch.
On Twitch?
He got hacked, and when he got hacked, the hacker was sending out like malicious links, like for porn sites or whatever. So I guess like Twitch took their time to like ban him, but they finally did, and it was like an indefinite permaban.
Ooh.
So this is a call to action. If anybody has any contacts or support for my friend Johnny, would really appreciate that. He's still banned as of right now, wrongfully so. He has all the receipts and all the proof. So I would really love Twitch to make a better appeal process because their process is dog shit. But yeah,
Was
he's
he a
been
Twitch
banned.
partner or like an affiliate?
He's an affiliate, not a partner.
He was an affiliate. Damn.
Yeah,
bro, that sucks.
bro also made a global emote for the platform and like doesn't like get a fucking customer service at anything. Like Twitch got to change that shit. But
Yeah.
Regardless, hope he gets unbanned. If anybody has any information on how to get unbanned on Twitch, especially when you did nothing wrong, hit me up. You can find me on X, CryptoHotto.
Real
hit him
quick,
up at Johnny Boy.
is he streaming anywhere else for right now that we can send some people to give him a follow? Just
Yeah,
to
he's
help him out just in case.
He's still live on Kick, YouTube, and I think he started streaming on X again. I'm not sure, but he's on those platforms as well.
All right, guys, you heard it. Make sure you give Johnny a follow. I believe his tag is JONNIE boy.
No, it's JONNYBOIG.
Oh, it's with a Y. Okay, YBOIG. There you go. Yeah,
Johnny
go
Boy.
give him a follow. Go give him a follow. He's a pretty cool artist and streamer. That sucks, man. I hope he gets that fixed. That sucks.
Yes, sir.
All right. Any other closing thoughts, boys? See, always a pleasure, brother. Having you.
It was a vibe. Go team.
Borderlands
Borderlands 2025.
2025. Borderlands 2025. Clap them cheeks. Let's go.
Straight up. Back shots.
Yeah, exactly, Hato. Exactly. All right, guys. Well, listen, it's been a fantastic episode. Thank you so much to everyone that tuned in across the platforms. We appreciate you guys. And like always, we'll be back next week at the same damn time. Peace.
Peace.